Welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you for joining me. This conversation is pertaining to Taylor Casey missing from the Bahamas, Nassau. As I've brought you content previously, past 2 days, the information that I've come to gather pertaining to this female is that she's not a female. So what I'm asking, and as I said, not to be disrespectful to her identity, but when was the mother going to alert the public that this is a bio male and not a female? And where is her passport? Thank you for joining me. You're now listening to the Vault Excel.
The woman from Chicago who disappeared in the Bahamas is asking the U.S. government to step in.
41-year-old Taylor Casey has been missing in the Bahamas for nearly 2 weeks. Her mother, Paulette Seymour, recently returned from the Bahamas and is calling on the U.S. State Department to deploy the FBI immediately. Casey was last seen on June 19th around Paradise Island, where she was attending a yoga retreat. Seymour says when she arrived at that retreat with her group, the scene appeared largely unprocessed by authorities, and there were no posters or public displays revealing a missing person. Among her daughter's belongings still in her tent were a Bible and sketch pad, affirmation cards, and clothing. Seymour says she felt an urgent need to return to the U.S. because without U.S. government support, she may never find out what happened to her daughter.
Fox 32 is the source of that said information. So basically, the same information is circulating in most networks and articles. The mother has returned back to Chicago with the friend. She wants the FBI to step in into this investigation, search for her daughter. I do believe the U.S. State Department is involved, and photos have been released of what the tent looked like where she was staying. Didn't look very fabulous looking from the photographs. And also left behind were just her clothes, a Bible, and just yoga paraphernalia, yoga paperwork. The passport is missing. Where's the passport? Well, could be Patricia. Maybe she doesn't want to be found. And those are the things I discussed yesterday, late morning. What are the options we have here pertaining to this person? And actually, I don't know what happened to her. But it's a baffling story nonetheless. I'm going to continue this coverage until there's an ending to her whereabouts. And we tried, chopping up this information late morning to who she is. Well, naturally, I don't know her. I haven't made contact with anybody that knows her that can give us information to who she is. But it's a very baffling story. And as I said, this story isn't your typical story due to the fact of where she went missing. She went missing on an island. It's not the same as missing from your home in a town of 100,000, 30,000. You're talking about an island that's surrounded by water. So what are your options? You're either on the island, stowed away, hidden away, or you're in the ocean, or you went up to the mainland and got gone that way. There's not many options. Like I said, it's not like having access to the street to roam. Somebody could, come in your house to snatch you out, lure you out, whatsoever. Get gone, going to the store, grocery store, work. This is not your typical situation. This island is surrounded by water. So where is she? My issue at the moment, besides the passport, because that's very vital to the story as well. Some might say, well, the person who took her want to make sure she doesn't get off the island. Well, a dead person can't walk or talk. So that wouldn't have any relevance to the passport, a dead person. So that would leave the option that the person is alive and you are stowing them away alive for what reason? Human trafficking, use them as a sex worker. What are we talking about here? Is she on the mainland, somewhere in Nassau, hidden out, being used, abused, but breathing? Or she took off on her own. She's not in a good mental state and she's wandering around the island or somewhere else. And naturally, the passport will be flagged. So always remember that. No matter who has the passport, they can't use it. You can't use it. because the name's going to get flagged unless somebody don't care. So there's your other option. But the mother, I'm concerned that the mother never wanted to admit that this is a bio male. I have a problem with that, because if indeed it's foul play and the body surfaces unalive, authorities are not going to contact you because you have not told them that it's a male. Now, maybe she's told people it's a male, the Royal Bahamian Police, and we just don't know that it's a bi. You know, she told them it's a male, but calling her a she. But just imagine she has not told the Bahamian authorities it's a bio male. Okay? Just imagine she said nothing. She's has these people believing this is a female. If the body happens to turn up, they are not going to notify her. Why would they notify her? A decomposed body comes up with the male body part. Why would they call her? So if she is not going to tell the public, or the authorities at least, the truth about her child being a boy, a male, she's doing a disservice to even be talking about her missing. I'm just calling a spade a spade. How are you helping her be found if you're not even telling the authorities this is a boy? Excuse me, man. God, excuse my language. It's a male. This is bad. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. This is real bad business. Where is the passport? And when is the mother going to admit that this is a bio male? Because some people might feel misled. Like, why couldn't you just say you have a transgender child down the road? This may be relevant. I don't see how it couldn't be relevant. I mean, in the universe that I live in, you know, it's not to show any disrespect to the missing person or the mother, but it's common sense. You have reported someone missing. These people from this ashram reported her missing. So how is it helpful if you are not going to tell the truth to her identity? I don't understand. Hey, Ashley. I don't understand. Help the queen understand. How is this doing a service to her? Because it's not. It's not doing a service at all. Because just imagine a body pops up and they don't notify her. And the body's just sitting somewhere in the morgue in the Bahamas or God knows where. And it never gets out except for on the island. Oh, we have a male found. Just saying. Why would they contact her, the mother? They'd have no reason to, because you're saying it's a female. Just saying. Just calling a spade a spade. I don't know. You try to have empathy for people, but once I found this information out, doing a little bit of research, I told myself this is bad. This is really bad, because you're not getting the whole truth, and I don't see how this is going to help her down the road. I don't know. I guess everybody has their own way of doing things. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. So what say you to chat? Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me this early morning. Sorry I didn't get on a few hours ago. Queen had to take a quick nap. I was kind of tired from earlier's live stream. Please pardon my French in that last live stream. It's not much, no new updates. I'm going through the queue. There's not anything. Let's go to Court TV and see what they have to say. It's going to be the same information. Everything's basically recycled conversation pertaining to the disappearance. It's a hot mess. Real hot mess.
News this morning from a missing woman from the United States who's gone missing in the Bahamas. Police say that 41-year-old Taylor Casey, who's from Chicago, was last seen around Paradise Island on June 19th. She traveled there to the islands for a yoga retreat. No details have been released on whether any foul play is suspected. According to a statement that retreat organizers released, they learned of her disappearance when Casey failed to attend some morning classes. Investigators did recover Casey's cell phone, but it's unclear the distance it was from the yoga retreat. So we're wondering this morning, what could we learn from her phone, Yvette?
Okay, so now see, this is a problem here, Court TV. This is the first commentary I've heard that says they don't know the distance. Okay, well, they told the mother it was 56 feet in. Her phone found. So which is it? So Court TV, who gave you this information that the distance is not known? Because the mother has been saying 56 feet in. You're the first commentary to say you don't know the distance of where the phone was found in the water. See, this is bad. Oh, mercy.
Anything. Let's bring back in our guests and talk about this. Jennifer Coffin-Deffer, back to you here. Your thoughts on what story the phone could.
All right, well, go ahead and check out. You're fine.
Well, certainly there could be data
Be safe.
retrieved. I know that from the information I read, that phone was found very close to the water. And that's obviously very concerning in these situations. The waters in and around the Bahamas can be dangerous. And certainly there's been other tourists and travelers that have gone that have lost their lives in the water. So I see that as a possibility. Look, this was a yoga retreat for the stars. And I think a wonderful, relaxing place. And so I have no information that would point to somebody stalking her there and committing a horrible crime. So leaning toward an accident, but we still have much investigation left to be done.
Right. Nermi, to you next, please. You heard Jennifer say, could this be accidental? And of course, I know when I first read the news, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, was this a kidnapping? Was this kidnapping a woman who may be unfamiliar with her surroundings? I'm curious your thoughts on that possibility.
Well, anything's possible at this point because the investigation is still in its infancy. But I tend to agree with Jennifer. Accident is the most likely outcome. But one of the things that we can see here when we talk about the phone, where it was recovered, of course, is key. But what was on it? Where did she go? Was she having contact with anyone, any strangers, maybe any people in the area? Was she having meetings with anyone, just to kind of rule out the possibility that there was any kind of interference, any kind of relationship she had with someone that might have gone awry, or that some kind of subterfuge was used to lure her somewhere. Things of that nature need to be ruled out before we talk about the possibility of accident and or some kind of intentional kidnapping.
Right, Kirk, thank you for that. Franz, I want to talk to you about the family. It is just heartbreaking seeing Taylor Casey's mother down there in the Bahamas, people who love her. They're just distraught, as anyone would be, when their loved one just vanishes, and they're saying this isn't like her. I've seen them, doing other interviews, and thoughts on what the family's going through. Any advice for the family members at this time?
So the problem with these kind of deaths, and I use the word intentionally death because we don't know what happened yet, is sometimes having no answers is far worse than having answers. Especially when it's a foreign country where you don't necessarily know how what their level of investigation is, what their government system is. If I were in a foreign country trying to find out what happened to a lost loved one, I would be at the consulate trying to work with the U.S. government, trying to lean on the consulate as much as possible. But look, at the end of the day, the fact that the cell phone was found is tremendously good We will, like Kurt said, we're going to have some answers when we get through and crack the cell phone data. The fact that the cell phone was found probably lends itself more to accident than some kind of foul play, only because if you're going to kidnap her and you're going to do something with her and you're going to take the thing of value, if you're going to hold her hostage, and I'm not trying to say this because I have some kind of insight, I'm just saying the fact that we have the phone makes me optimistic that we may be able to get some kind of answers and get them some kind of closure.
Right. Franz, thank you for that. We'll leave it there for now. If we learn anything about the disappearance of Taylor Casey, we will share the information live.
Court TV is the source. So each person has their own opinion. So let's start with the obvious. Foul play. Was it foul play? How did she get off the island? You have to ask that. We've chopped all that up in the last live pertaining to the distance of going down that sandy beach. From my understanding, it's been a mighty long walk. And I don't mean 30 minutes. I don't mean 40 minutes. Mr. Eden says there was no way to get access to the place by car. So all that's strange to me because I don't know why anybody would want to go to a place where you're going to have to do a lot of walking. So that's why I said, do they offer some type of dune buggy travel from the main road over to the ashram? Because I don't want to get off a plane, make my way to pavement to then truck down Sandy Beach for over an hour walking with luggage. That makes no sense. That makes no logical sense. So I don't really understand any of that. All this is illogical to me just from what Mr. Enton has said. So it's bizarre to me. I guess I need to do some more Googling pertaining to this because all this is weird. So you have foul play. Then you have to say, well, where's the body? How'd you get it out of the area? Naturally, a dead body is going to deteriorate, smell. You're going to smell it. The island's small. So nobody's complaining of smelling anything, finding anything. So where is she? Okay. Phone in the water could be a hint of an accident. Very good point. Many people go out to the water and have accidents. So was this an accident? But you would think by now, if it was an accident and she didn't wade out far, she would have floated up by now. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm pretty good this evening. How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm just listening in. I'm just absorbing. I don't know too much about this case, so I'm just...
What? You haven't even So you done came up on a panel and you don't know anything about the case?
Well, I did see Brian Etton's segment. I think it was 30 minutes long where he was walking the island. Yeah, and it was... he was right whenever he said, you can't get to that place other by foot on the beach, you know?
Yeah, and I just find that bizarre to me. I've never heard of such. I haven't. To travel somewhere, because you have to think about traveling into a country and getting into the location from concrete to sand, and then I'm going to walk the rest of the way, an hour walking with my luggage. I never heard of such.
I don't see that happening. And plus,
3.8 kilometers is what I wrote down. 3.8 kilometers is the distance from the ashram to the nearest hotel. Okay. So 3 kilometers is a 37-minute walk. Now do the math in your head if you're good at math.
Probably like a mile and a half or 2 miles.
Right. But what I'm saying is if 3 kilometers equals 37 minutes in walking, yeah, what a 1 point something miles, that's not including the 0.8 added on after 37 minutes. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did she, what, I'm sorry, what, she, right? The proper pronouns?
Well, from my observation and digging, I believe she is a bio he.
Okay. All right.
Okay. From what I've seen, the Trans Law Center in Chicago or wherever it's located has her picture up there. So I don't think they'd have a heterosexual person's picture up there missing. You understand what I'm saying? There'd be a reason why, because it's a law center for transgender people. Also, things she said in her Facebook post, the mother has thanked the LGBTQ community, so we're going to gather it's a he.
I heard you talking a little bit about it last night, and it was about the Facebook post and what people were saying, and that's
just her conversation alluded to transitioning and issues and people saying things too about her older photograph where she had the longer hair and braids, and one of the guys was saying, I like fish, which I'm going to assume that's a girly term.
Yeah,
I liked you better. I liked you in that way. But either way you go is what he was saying. Either way, I like you regardless. Whichever way you like to look or dress. So see, my thing was, I never assumed that she was a he. I only went digging because of the comments under the videos where all these different men kept saying, you need to be looking for a man. So, I quit back and said, what are you talking about? Why are you saying it's a man? So I had to take a look back, and I'm like, wait a minute. If a man is thinking it's a man, maybe I need to reassess what the hell is really going on here. So that's when I went digging into Facebook, the mother's page, found her page, and that led me down the road to believing she is a male biologically.
And see, what you were saying last night made sense because there's only 3 possibilities. Even I don't know much about this case, but if you go to the Bahamas and if you go missing under suspicious circumstances, either you got murdered by other people, you disappeared, is a hoax, or suicide.
Yeah. Or drowned, because that is water. So you could have drowned, could have been waiting and
True. Yes.
playing around, goofing off. So I don't really know where this investigation is going. The mother feels like in the tent, it didn't look like they did a thorough job of gathering anything. So what I'm trying to figure out, where is the passport? Because I did Google, a passport can be used as identification in the United States for domestic commercial flights. So you don't have to have a driver license or state ID. You can use a passport. So in the end, it still doesn't matter. It's missing. And where's the credit card? See, this is strange to me. And a person going to kill themselves has no need to hide those things. For what?
Yeah, that's.
You're not going to really care if somebody's going to use your credit card and say, well, before I kill myself, I'm going to hide and throw away my credit card and my debit card and my what I'm trying to say, my passport. I don't think you'd be thinking about those things.
So do you think that if she did fake her disappearance, then she probably would have taken those things with her because she would have needed them to get back to the U.S.?
Right. And then it'd be flagged. You're going to get flagged just because somebody's putting a missing report about you. So already they would have told us, oh, well, that person just boarded a flight somewhere. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere, whether they went to Aruba or back to the States or Europe,
it would be trackable.
Even if somebody is using it now, trying to use it now, you're going to get flagged. So that's why all this is kooky, no matter how you weigh it as far as the passport. You can't use the passport because if they're going to be on their job and be efficient, it's going to get flagged either way, no matter if she uses it or some other person uses it. So you could change the picture, do all that. It's going to get flagged because she's a missing person on the island. So the name should come up in the computer. Oh, this person is missing. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and another thing I was observing.
Or the name, at least. Let's say the name.
Through Brian Enton's walkthrough, he was asking the locals about this, or not the locals. I'm guessing that they were tourists.
At the ashram, at the retreat.
Honestly, they didn't seem to care.
I know it. Well, as I chopped all that up yesterday, the timeline, the post on the Facebook 5 days later, then 7 days later, they informed the guests, which is, why are you waiting 7 days to tell the people at the same place where this person went missing? to tell them that she's missing. So you're treating everybody really with disrespect. One, the person that's missing, you have no care for. You souped up some long ass Dear Jane letter saying, "Oh, we did this. We consorted with the mother. Blah blah blah. The police." But yet you'd wait days before telling the people in an email, "Hey, by the way, one of our guests is missing." So even if it's foul play, it's bad because these people are still walking around on this island with a possible killer. Hell, far we know who the killer is at the ashram.
And stuff like that in the Bahamas.
It's foul play. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and even if it does turn out to be foul play, then they would not want that out for commercial purposes,
right,
because they don't want people to be scared on their island.
Well, and that's the reason why they waited 5 days to post to Facebook, because naturally they get a lot of probably business through Facebook and the website. Okay, so you wait 5 days to post to Facebook. You wait 7 days to send a personal email to the people already there. Then the mothers and the friends said the people didn't act like they wanted to talk. The lady who contacted her to tell her that she was missing, she was there and never even met with her. I find that odd.
So she was there, but she's claiming that she never met with her?
The woman who called, Hannah, never met with the mother.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, I don't know much about this case. I've looked into Brian Enton's interview, or not interview, but the walkthrough that he did to the Bahama Islands.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing news segments about this, and that's what struck my attention. And then I didn't suspect that she was transgender until the information
I had no idea. I did think, but I never said it to the chat. But to myself, I said she looks kind of hard for a female. But I never said it to the chat. Never once did I think she was a man, and never once did I say that I thought she had kind of hard features. Because everybody has a different look. It doesn't mean that they're a man. You understand what I'm saying? But
yeah, they can have
the more I started
androgynous.
digging and then started looking at her photographs, I could see a possibility that it was a male. But the people who were calling it out from the articles, the videos, they were men. Not a lot of women. I probably read maybe 3-4 comments where it was guys who were saying under the videos, that's a man, you need to look for a man. So I thought, just being smart asses.
No, I think they could have said that because she could have very well be born as a biological male. And before people want to get offended by us talking about this, what you were saying last night, Queen, everything that a person was doing, whether they were involved in altercations or they struggled with their identity, any type of life struggles, especially before they go missing, is relevant because that could have everything to do with why they went missing, whether it's nefarious or voluntary.
Well,
but again, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth because I don't know much about this case.
Well, like SG was saying, who was up here early morning, these retreats, which I don't know anything about them, I don't go on them. I'm not going to profess what go on at them because every retreat I don't think is ran the same and done the same. Somebody did a little research about it. What I pulled up, I didn't see anything talking about much spirituality or this and that. But the point is, if indeed she was already struggling with some things, it could have been a jump off at the retreat. Number one. Number two, she could have been in good spirits when she went to retreat, and then something happened, said something in the gathering of people. I don't know. So that's the whole point. You don't know because you're not hearing anything. You're not hearing what was said to her, about her, any interactions with the people. So what can you gather if nobody will even say, yeah, we talked, we had coffee, we ate lunch together? I mean, you don't even know.
Has any of her friends from back home came out and spoke about her? People that she interacted with?
The person that's with her, that was with the one lady was with the mother on the island. She came down from the LGBTQ community people paid to send this lady down here with her, which I thought she was a friend. I don't really know what's going on. I just know she was doing a lot of talking during the interviews. So I don't know. People are posting to their own Facebooks. That's about it. All I've seen.
And she's out of Chicago?
That's where she was living.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just listening and just learning as much as I can.
So most of the information is basically a repeat, and you get this with news. So that's why I keep trying to tell people, you can't make it be more than what it is. That's just the point. You can't get mad at the news because they don't have anything new to repeat. They only get, from the main circuit, what has been said from law enforcement. And if all you have is she's missing, what the mother saw, experienced, or whoever went to claim, her belongings, that's all you have. Naturally, there's always more, but you can't make somebody talk. Now, the mother and friends' attitude is that they didn't feel well received. They felt like it was scripted, the conversations, but yet the memo from the ashram to the public is, we tried to help them, be cordial, they thanked us, blah, blah, blah. Anything said otherwise is not the truth, but that's the whole point. We have two different versions of what actually happened and who was more receptive, and the mother is saying these people were not receptive of them being there. And they really didn't want them talking to the patrons. And the police didn't seem like they were doing a good job. Didn't seem to be process the room, the cot or whatever, the tent. It's all bizarre. It's just, all of it is just weird to me. It's a weird setup anyway, just from what Brian Inton showed. It's not something I would go and do. I'm not getting ready to go do no yoga, and it's not near concrete. That's just me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be able to get in and out in case of an emergency. I don't want to run for miles down a beach to safety. That's crazy to me.
I mean, you're already putting yourself at risk by going to Mexico, Bahamas, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Haiti. Any of those places, you're off U.S. soil.
Yeah.
So if something nefarious,
the rules don't apply.
Yeah, and if something nefarious happens, whether it be the people that you went down there with, such as Shanquella Robinson, or in this case, it's no way to know what actually happened, especially if no one wants to talk. And
they made that comment in the memo. Well, it could be that people are grieving. That's why they don't want to speak. That makes no sense.
Well, why would you be grieving unless, from our knowledge, she's not dead? There's not been any proof that she's dead.
Right.
So maybe they're just reading the logs.
That's the whole point. You don't know anything, so what's the big deal if just saying to the lady, hi, how are you? I saw her, we spoke briefly, but I don't know anything. It's no big deal. If you don't know anything, you don't know anything. I don't know. Wow. I don't know. It's just a weird situation. A very, very weird situation.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. So I haven't heard if she has a friend, partner. That's not been mentioned. Naturally, her orientation has not been discussed. Something just made me go check it out because I kept seeing all these negative comments under the videos.
Do you mind if I speculate for a little bit? Just
Bandit. Now, look, you are up here. Now, don't start a mess.
Well, I'm just trying to be respectful of your channel because I'm thinking something, and I'm thinking that maybe she met with one of those island natives, or maybe a tourist or someone.
We've discussed that. I mean, you are free to give your opinion. We have discussed all of those options, just like what you heard on Court TV. They didn't maybe go in depth because they didn't have 4 minutes, but We have chopped up all of that. Who she talked to before, who she talked to when she got there. Did she go meet with some people to do lunch, dinner? As I told people in the chat yesterday, you can't say what a person would or would not do on an island because you don't know them. It doesn't matter that it's a yoga retreat. That doesn't mean they don't want to go see something else going on up near the hotel, or people say, hey, come on, let's go into the city. Let's go get some drinks. Let's get some dinner. You don't know what they did. You know, and I hate when people do that, like to say what somebody would and wouldn't do. Just say you wouldn't go do that.
Yeah, you know, if I went to the Bahamas or the islands or something, and if it was a yoga retreat, then yeah, I would be going to the yoga retreat, but I would also be doing other things and taking advantage of that time and that opportunity.
That's exactly the point I was trying to make. People allot their time when they travel, such as like when you go away on business. You may have a business meeting at, 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever, but that doesn't mean after the meeting is over that you just go back to your room and go crash and go to sleep. You might want to go see what's going on in the hotel. You might want to go see if there's something nearby. So if there's an outlet mall across the street or a Walmart down the street, you see what I'm saying? A Macy's down the street, and you say, oh, I want to go get my wife a gift or my husband a gift. That's your option. And I tell people that all the time, stop thinking for yourself. You're thinking of what you would do, but you don't know her to say what she would and wouldn't do. She could have called somebody. They could have called and said, hey, I'm coming down there. You understand what I'm saying? How do we know that she didn't have somebody she was talking to back in Chicago that was going to the islands? And she'd say, oh, let me know when you get here. I'll meet with you. See, you don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah. You know, and then they ran away into the sunset.
And let me throw that mystery part. Allegedly, a patron says a very mysterious guy with a Celtics hat on and all black was standing out talking to her, and then he followed her onto the property or near the property, and he also was seen near Taylor's tent and he had a walkie-talkie. If this doesn't sound made up, come on. A walkie-talkie means he would have to have somebody else in earshot with a walkie-talkie as well. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. And I'm thinking that if you had a walkie-talkie, that means that my mind goes to security or police officer, law enforcement, someone that just had a walkie-talkie that was talking on the other end to somebody else. But why would you be talking to somebody on the other end and be lurking out of somebody's tent?
And my thing is, too, if it's somebody nefarious, people don't realize a walkie-talkie repeats back what's being said.
Yeah, so everyone can hear what you're saying.
So that wouldn't make any sense because now if I'm up to no good, people can hear the walkie-talkie.
See, I work with walkie-talkies on a daily basis. And if you say something, then it's public, you know, depending on how many people are on the same station.
This is a close proximity area, I'm assuming. So if he's anywhere near a patron, if somebody radios you, they're going to have to be in a close proximity. You're going to hear their conversation. So if he's up to no good, he don't want you hearing something on a walkie-talkie and vice versa. So all that is weird to me. A guy dressed in all black, a Celtics hat, approaching the person. Then we hear something about he wants to know about a yoga class to attend. I don't know if I believe any of that. That just sounds so... To me, that sounds scripted to me.
See, I'm looking at the pictures of the tent right now from ABC7. And it looks like everything was left how it was.
I don't know.
If you want to, you can continue playing the audio.
Yeah, all the audio is basically the same. Everything's just a repeat of what I've already played. There's not any new information. You understand? Everything I'm playing is basically the same. I'd have to just be going back, just really rehearsing old content. So I don't know if that's what you want to hear. Most of the people who've been, following the network, they've heard most of this, what I call regurgitated information. It's all the same. That's not nothing new pertaining to this, but we can go on and go back 4 days ago by News Nation where the mother's speaking.
All right. Yeah, I need to look further into this.
Because you haven't followed it. Most of the people who are in the chat. I think they followed the content already.
This happened on Juneteenth.
I want to bring in Colette Seymour, Taylor Casey's mother, and also welcome Emily Williams, Taylor's friend. Thank you both for being with me tonight. Last time I saw you, we were all in the Bahamas, and I was really hoping that next time I talked to you both that you would have Taylor with you. Unfortunately, that is not the case right now. But I want to start with you, Colette, with this yoga retreat. It's called Sivananda Ashram. You went to the Bahamas. You went there from Chicago to do your own investigation. You went to this ashram. What did you find, Colette?
That the people were kind of evasive, and we went in and we talked to them, and it was just hard to get answers from them. I asked them, could we talk to the students and stuff, and they were telling us no, the students weren't, and it took them a while to say, okay, if the students want to talk to you guys. I wanted to speak to Hannah, the young lady that called me and told me that my child was missing on June 20th, and I thought for sure that when I got there, I would see her. And she was there on the premises because we asked, but they would not let me talk to Hannah. So I just thought that was kind of strange because I would think, if I reported to someone that their child was missing and they came to this yoga retreat, that would be the first person I would want to talk to. But they would not let me talk to Hannah, and she was on the premises. That was disturbing to me, very disturbing to me.
Yeah, and I mean, Taylor had been there since the beginning of June. She was part of this. It's not like she had just been there a couple of days. She was part of this community that is supposed to be very loving. And now you show up as her mother, and they basically, it sounds like they just sort of blew you off.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they said Hannah was in a class. But being in a class is more important than coming and talking to me about my child being missing. I really had a problem with that.
Did you see any posters? When I was there, I didn't see any missing posters.
Not one. Not one. Not one. Not even in the criminal investigation department at the Royal Bahamas Police. There was a whole wall of missing persons, and Taylor was not on it.
Emily, what do you make of the police investigation? I mean, look, for some context here, the Bahamas' main industry is tourism. They obviously don't want people to be scared to go. They're already under a level 2 travel advisory from the State Department. Do you think that's interfering with a proper investigation here?
Absolutely, 100%. We heard repeatedly that things could not happen because they didn't want to disturb the tourists who were there. They didn't want to disturb the guests who were vacationing on the island.
There you go.
That was true when we went to the ashram, and they gave us a tour so we could see the place. And when we were there, just trying to understand where Taylor's tent was, where the beach was, where her phone was found, they said we were almost scolded when we were trying to take pictures of the premises, just time and time again from the authorities to make sure that we respect the guests' privacy. And the same is true, when we think that, we were not told that the entire premises of the ashram was searched. We were not told that the entire premises of the Atlantis Hotel was searched. And the reason that we were giving was that they wanted to respect the privacy of the guests because they were on vacation. And so we're asking, what's more important, Taylor's safety, finding Taylor, or people enjoying their vacation? And so it's clear to us that, yes, they're concerned about tourism, will prevent them from alerting the tourists to danger that's potentially in their midst, which, as we outlined in the press release, could still be true because we don't know what happened to Taylor.
Do you know, Colette, the cell phone? A lot of people have been asking me about the cell phone. We know your granddaughter was able to see that Taylor's cell phone pinged in the ocean. Where exactly was it found? Do you know?
They said 56 feet out. You know, we asked how far was the phone in the water, and they said 56 feet. Yeah,
The thing that I worry about, why would anyone go in the ocean with their cell phone? I mean, it doesn't really make any sense.
that's what I want to know. That's what a lot doesn't make sense. You know, the answers that we get, they didn't make sense to me. They did not make sense to me, and it's just disturbing.
Yeah.
Disturbing that I had to come home without my child, and we need answers.
What did you find out, Emily? Because again, you guys have had to do your own investigation here. In terms of witnesses, I mean, was there anyone else that saw anything strange around the time that Taylor went missing?
You know, when the ashram leadership finally allowed us to talk to some of the guests and participants who were willing to speak with us, there was one woman who they said was the last person to see Taylor. And that person had seen Taylor walking on the beach. That same person also told us that that very same day, a man walking from the direction of the Atlantis Hotel, fully clothed in tennis shoes on the beach, approached her while she was sitting alone and said that he claimed to have been from Chicago and that he wanted to take a yoga class. So he followed her onto the property of the ashram. She went her way and he went another way. And then, you know, she said that she hadn't seen him again. So that's one thing that, you know, we think is
I forgot about that part.
Is strange.
Let's stop right there. So I hadn't really focused on that.
So
Is that true? Because you got to remember, everything's a version from somebody. So you don't know if somebody's painting a narrative or what. So it's the same person, the guy with the Celtics hat, the walkie-talkie, and now he's from Chicago, which, how ironic, she's from Chicago. He goes over the property, she goes her way, he goes his way. But then we also hear allegedly a guy, if it's the same guy, was near her tent. So that's why I said, how are the tents set up? If the tents are accessible for a stranger to just walk up, that's a major problem.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Queen. I was like, is that the same person that you were talking about? And I was reading this article from People magazine right here, and it said that in January, the U.S. Department of State issued a level 2 travel advisory for the Bahamas.
Yeah. Yep. And people are still going. So it's the same with Mexico, all these places, Jamaica, especially Jamaica. It's horrible. I talked about this months ago about the travel advisories. When those two women allegedly got raped off the cruise ship.
From Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's...
Also, while we were meeting with the ashram leadership, the manager of the ashram had said that the Monday before Taylor went missing, that there was a man with a walkie-talkie who was found on the platform where Taylor's tent was. Now, they said that when that man with the walkie-talkie saw an employee, he went in the other direction and walked off of the property. Ashram leadership said that they reported that to the Paradise Island police. However, the Royal Bahamian Police Force, they never told us about that. And as far as we know, they have zero leads in this case.
So now that's basically, are we talking about two separate incidents? Okay? Or two separate incidents, same guy, two separate incidents, same guy, different guy. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, I get
we got a woman being approached, and he walks up on the plank to the property. She goes her way. She goes her way. He goes his way. She don't know where he went. Now, next incident, beforehand, I guess that would be a week before, somebody's up there with a walkie-talkie near her tent. This is bizarre. Because, see, I was thinking this was the same person. But see, we don't know if it's the same person. Because somebody's got to compare notes to say, hey, give me a description of what the guy looked like. White, black, foreign. You understand what I'm saying? Something. So we don't even know the race. Just a man.
They're so vague. And they said that we used drone technology. We use canines and we use divers. And that's all they said.
Mm-hmm.
according to skippers or skippings.
And they did this in about a 3-point-something mile radius, or 3-something miles of searching, allegedly.
Well, if that happened, then she could have floated off further than 3 miles, don't you think?
No, I'm talking about their search, as far as, I guess, on foot, looking around up near the hotel and back around. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know if 3 miles means out in the water, but 3 miles like on the island itself.
That makes me think if there was someone on the island before that was just looking for prey.
Possibly.
Doing like a dry run, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dry
or maybe
run. And that could be it. Let me assess the situation, because people do dry runs. You know, when a man stalks a person, they don't just automatically go after a person the day they see them. You know, each predator is different. So if this is a predator, he's been casing the place, he's watched it, he's gone on a website, he's heard about it. However, whether he's a townie or whatever, yeah, a dry run, let me walk, let me see if somebody says anything. Let me see if there are cameras. Might have been looking to see if there are cameras.
It was also funny how they said that as soon as he saw the employee, he exited casually.
Yeah, so I didn't even focus on any of that because it's so much I've been trying to chop up. So it looks like we're talking about 2 separate incidents if these people are telling the truth.
Wow, this is scary. The more I'm looking into it, the more
I'm hearing that, a repeat of that. Yeah, it's scary because, like I said, you don't know what to believe, because if the people on the ashram were evasive, I'm more leery about their versions. That's how I operate. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if you're evasive, I don't know what you said to the guests. The mother here says they didn't want them even talking to them. So why are we going to believe versions from them? Now you see where I'm going?
And she had to go back to the U.S. because she felt like
she didn't feel safe there. Well, I wouldn't feel safe too because my child went missing from there. And I don't know what happened to my child, so why would I feel safe here? Because that will be fucked up if we find out somebody from the ashram hurt her. Or, it was a guest, or it was somebody working. So you got to count staff. You got to count the staff that worked there. You got to count the people who were at the ashram. You got to count just a random person walking down the beach being a creepy crawling.
It could be anybody.
It could be anybody. But what would be bizarre is the timeline and the walk to the ashram. You're going to stick out, because if it's a long duration of walking, you're telling me you're willing to take this long ass walk to go unalive a person and then try to get out of there without being detected? That's risky. That's risky.
Think about how many people were on the beach and how many tourists would see you, just
right,
even if they didn't see you.
And then allegedly the guy was in all black, the one incident. Come on.
All black.
Okay. What the walkie-talkie.
It sounds kind of, I don't know, cliche.
Right. So that's why I just said, if the mother and the friend did not feel welcome, she already told you at the beginning of this audio, they sounded evasive. Why am I going to believe the versions of these people? It's not to say these people, everybody there are liars, but I'm just saying we don't even know who these people are, who they're getting these versions from. The words to Hannah person who did all this 911 emergency bullshit, she's disappeared. She's hiding in a room somewhere, not coming out. Come on, you called this lady. Now the lady's there, you won't even speak to her?
Who is this? I do have a question. Do you know who this Chrislyn? No, I'm looking at the wrong name. Let's see. Well,
What was your last conversation with Taylor like?
It was nice. Taylor called me and was like, "Hey, Ma," and sent a picture along with the picture with Taylor, standing in the water and the waves with the beautiful water. Their water is actually beautiful. And she said, "I love you, Ma."
Did you catch that?
I love you, Mom.
Before that.
She was standing in the water and
Let me go back. Listen carefully.
It was nice. Taylor called me and was like, "Hey, Ma," and sent the picture along with the picture with Taylor, standing in the water in the waves with the beautiful water. The water is actually beautiful, and he said,
Send a
she
picture.
said, "I love
See?
you."
You didn't catch that?
Send a picture. Is that what you mean?
She said she slipped up.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
Let me go
I
back.
didn't hear that.
I'm just now catching it.
Along with the picture with Taylor, standing in the water in the waves with the beautiful water. The water is actually beautiful, and he said, she said, "I love you, Mom."
Got that?
She corrected herself. She immediately.
Right there. See, there are a lot of things you forget when you watch stuff, because like sometimes I'm doing 1,000 different things when I'm trying to gather information, because my head be 50,000 places when I'm getting information, and you miss stuff. So I've just missed that. So it's just really sitting here intently listening. She corrected herself. She said he. Wow.
Yeah, that's.
So it's just like when I go to her Facebook page, there's not a lot of pictures of her and her together. She's with 50,000 different other people in her photographs. The mother stays busy, believe me. She's traveling, she's going places, parties, functions. I think I've caught maybe 2 to 3 photographs total in those pictures in her album with Taylor.
With her and her mother? Well, with Taylor and her mother?
Her and her mother. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, do you think that maybe you probably can't answer this fairly, but do you think that her mother had issues, or she had a hard time accepting that her biological son was transgender? And it's not until that the jump off that, she went missing that it's hitting at heart. If you know what I mean.
I don't know, because I don't really know their relationship.
Yeah, that's what I'm beginning to think that. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I know it's a touchy subject, with parents, especially with parents of transgenders.
Yeah. And see, we don't know how long she's been, wearing female clothes. But one thing I want to say, just from what I'm seeing in pictures, she has carried a purse. In this one photograph right now we're displaying, she has on a gray shirt, button up. She wears a lot of button up shirts. A yellow purse. Obviously, the strap is yellow, okay? In another photograph, the strap is brown. So we're going to go back now. If she's carrying a different color purse in these pictures, more than likely she's a purse carrier. Where is the purse? That's why I keep telling people, you got to pay attention.
I'm trying to pull up the photograph.
All that was found was just clothing and yoga paraphernalia and a Bible. The police has her journal. The police has her phone, but her passport is missing. But you can see in 2 pictures from Facebook, she carries a purse, obviously. Most women would do, carry a purse.
See, it's the part that stands out to me, that may be irrelevant to other people, but not tarot cards, but divination cards, affirmation. Is that how it's phrased?
I don't know, honey. I don't know. Where you going?
Well, there was some type of a Bible and something else that was found.
You mean on the table?
Yeah, that.
Oh, did you notice? I couldn't tell. It showed it so quick. I was trying to look at the room or the tent, because it was a quick span of the tent area. Well, let me finish this and then we'll talk.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And I said, "I love you too, Taylor." And we were talking about yoga. And I sent Taylor a picture of, because we were on vacation, I sent Taylor a picture of us doing yoga. We were getting ready to actually go to a yoga class. So I sent Taylor a picture of all the mats and stuff. And said, "Look, Taylor, we're doing yoga too." Yeah.
Well, listen, we're going to stay on the story, Colette and Emily. Please let us know if anything develops. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and people are distracted. But again, like I said, people don't just vanish, and this is a story that deserves a lot of attention. A lot of people vacation in the Caribbean. So we appreciate you coming on, and please let us know if there's any developments.
Okay, thank you so much, Ryan.
Thank you for.
News Nation is the source, everybody.
Maybe I was wrong about the tarot cards. It was an affirmation, but I don't know. I'm kind of leaning to the possibility that she unalived herself to clean up my commentary.
Why are you saying that?
Well, I'm on Facebook right now, and I'm gonna try. What's her name on Facebook? Is it Taylor Casey?
No, it's Cat Casey.
Cat Casey. Well, again, I could very well be wrong, but if she was overly happy and optimistic, right? You know what they say about people that usually unalive themselves is there's no sign, and those are the ones that you have to watch out for, that pretend like everything is okay and they're overly optimistic. What if this whole thing, in her mind, maybe it was an opportunity for her to finally follow through? For all we know,
mentioned that yesterday. I couldn't see a person spending all this money to travel down there, participate in the class to kill themselves. What would be the point when you could just do it at home? There's water in Chicago. Chicago's surrounded by water. If she likes water, she could easily just went and jumped off a pier.
But maybe she wanted to spend the last days, moments of her life to make it memorable, if that makes any sense.
Wow.
I know it's kind of deep.
Yeah, so because my thing is, well, if I'm going to go do that, couldn't something have maybe been nice that happened on the trip to tell me, hey, you need to try to work this out?
Yeah.
See a therapist.
I don't know what she was going through in her mind.
Yeah, so now I see in this other picture on the Today show 2 days ago, I'm looking at a picture of her standing in front of a business. She's got a purse on her arm there. So she carries a purse. Where's her purse then? Now I've seen 3 photographs of her carrying a purse. So she's a purse carrier. Where is the purse? Come on, Bandit.
But see that
if you're going to kill yourself, you're going to leave your purse and passport.
Yeah, that's the thing that doesn't make any sense. You're not
going to care about hiding that stuff. Somebody said that last night, burying it. Come on, stop the bullshit now.
You would just throw it in the water, or just leave it behind, or do something.
I'm not going to carry nothing. I'm not going to carry anything.
If you didn't want no one to find it, then you would make an attempt to get rid of it. But
that's what I'm saying. If you're going to kill yourself, if that's the case, that's like saying clean the house, wash the dishes, then go unalive myself. What's the point?
Yeah, that's true. It's
I'm going to make my bed, sweep the room, tidy everything up, and then go kill myself.
People's done that though. They continue on with daily life, and then just one day do the deed. But I don't know. I don't want to make I don't want to be putting that on her. In the event that she is alive, that's just one of my theories.
Well, I'm going to bank possibly foul play, but where I have the problem with foul play is getting her off to where she's not seen. It's a long stretch from the ashram to the concrete. How did you get her from there? Because her body would be somewhere visible. And even if you tried to float her down, weight her down, you still got to have something to weight her down. She's not a small person.
Yeah, so the body would
all
float.
Those things out. She's 5'10".
Eventually, it would come up.
It would come back up, exactly.
Unless it was like what you were leaning to is foul play, then someone could have, I don't know, killed her and then attached weights to it, dumped her down, and then she's
still, as I told SG last night, make it make sense. You would have to thoroughly plan that out when you start talking about dealing with weights. You have got to have this thoroughly planned just because of where the ashram is located. And not be seen. Rather it be luring her out, opening up tents. We've heard that mentioned. The tent up, zipping up. Somebody talks about that. Oh, I heard the tent zipping up on that night. And also I find it interesting she goes missing on Juneteenth.
Yeah, that's weird too.
Yes,
out of all days.
Of all days.
See, that's another reason that I'm leaning to the. I don't know if it's suicide, but I think there's some type of weird symbolism from the date to the yoga to everything else. I know I'm sounding crazy to a lot of people right now, but that's just where my mind goes. That's just one of my theories. I think there's some type of meaning to it.
I caught that day for yesterday, the Juneteenth. When I pulled it up for going live, I said, wait a minute. Wednesday the 19th was Juneteenth. That just struck me strange. I said, maybe it's just a coincidence. That's the day she went missing.
Could be.
But it could be a symbolism as well. That's the day that I freed myself.
Freed myself, yeah.
From bondage, you know? You know, it's a very analytical, hypothesis, but.
Well, it makes sense once you really begin to think about it. Maybe she struggled with not her gender identity, but maybe being her racial identity. I don't know.
Well, I think it's probably. When you go back on the Facebook page, you can see the transformation of difference. When you pull up the older pictures from maybe 4 years ago, she's looking more, one of the pictures, she's feminine with the long hair. That's why somebody said I didn't recognize her. So there it's long, because she's got thick damn hair. Thick, long, you can tell her face is painted in the one picture. But then this other transformation changes to boys button-ups with long skirts, the do-rag. It's very odd, the combination of the dress style. You see where I'm going? It's part girl, part boy. So it's almost like she's conflicted. I look pretty as a female, but now I'm wearing button-ups. If you notice all these pictures, they're button-ups. T-shirts, button-ups, which is odd. It's just an odd combination.
Her name is...
maybe she was battling with which I want to be. So I'm wearing button-up shirts looking like a guy, but I've got on lipstick. See where I'm going?
Yeah, the more I'm looking at these photographs, she does have the jawline. That's the first one to stick out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Her name is Kat what?
It's Kat Casey.
Kat Casey, okay. Spelled with a C?
Mm-hmm. So, and then when you go to the page, there's a lot of oddities on there of a lot of different artworks, and a lot of the pictures are basically of men, what I would say in drag in the artwork. So like I told myself, ain't no straight man or woman gonna have this as her profile. I also noticed she changed her profile every day. That was odd to me. Most people don't do that. I don't care who they are.
Yeah, that's a sign that.
Yeah, and even the profiles would be of a man, like the one picture of the guy. He's black. You could see a chiseled body that's naked in like clouds with makeup on and long hair.
Okay, I just found her Facebook page right here.
Okay, so then the next picture is of the same chiseled body, but he has wings. See what I'm saying?
And the butterfly, I don't know much about the butterfly symbolism, but
mm-hmm.
Do you think that's like a metamorphosis symbolism of transgender?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that. You can see a lot that she's swaying. Like kind of, you could see maybe in limbo, over here, over there. You could tell that. And like I said, the changing of the profiles every day. Who does that? Every day you look up, she's changed the profile. You could just see her past experiences. She was like all over the place. You know, then the guy who makes the comment about calling her fish, and then she was like, yeah, makes me want my braids back. And then next thing he says, well, I like you either way. So that's when I knew, okay, she's either a woman wanting to be a guy or she's a guy wanting to be a female. Because I didn't just yet know which she was. But I could tell something was going on. It was either or.
13
Let me see if I can play something else about today's show.
I'm just curious, were you able to be, I'm assuming no, but were you able to be friends with her on Facebook?
The mother, she never replied.
Or Kat Casey, the actual profile?
Kat Casey. The police got the phone. She's not going to respond.
It's their child.
All these profile pictures of, I don't know, have they been deleted?
What do you mean?
I'm going through the profile pictures. You said that she changed her profile pictures a lot.
Well,
only
if you
seeing
go farther
7.
down a couple years back, yeah. You got to go all the way. You got to scroll.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing one with the frog, and then one with the blonde hair, the button-ups, what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
A plant. Some of this stuff could have been deleted. Because they probably heard people talking about it on the internet. So,
well, honey, it's a long. I went way down the page, honey. I didn't find what I was needing to find in just three swipes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt your conversation. I was just looking through her profile picture and see what you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Over the years, you can just see different things about her. Conversations, she's having.
She definitely shows black pride. Yes. So I don't think that it was a racial identity thing. I think it was more of a gender identity thing, what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I need them on the island to act like it's their child that's missing.
An American mom whose adult daughter disappeared from the Bahamas is sounding alarms and sharing photos of the tent where she says 41-year-old Taylor Casey once.
So she did have a suitcase,
her bed, and Bible.
I'm glad I saw this for the smartass that was in the chat the other night saying she would take a backpack. Who's going to take a backpack for a 2-week to 1 month stay anywhere? Come on now.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You be packing.
I get so sick of people that just think they know everything. Just because it's a yoga retreat don't mean she wants to wear the same stinky clothes over and over.
Yeah, what is she going to do? Put the clothes in the washer every single night?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then, too, when I went on the website and did the research, it showed one of the programs was for a month. So anybody with sense will know that's expensive. You're going to stay somewhere for a month, whether it's the tent, the hut, or a room. So I'm assuming she did the tent because it probably was cheaper.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you book hotel rooms, that's going to be at least $20,000.
Yeah, they offer all that. They offer a hut, they offer rooms, they offer tents. You have an option. I read all that on the website yesterday morning.
Chicago Youth Program Director vanished 2 weeks ago from the Shivananda Ashram Yoga Retreat on Paradise Island. Her family and friends traveling to the compound last week, now pleading with American authorities, including the FBI, to get involved.
The state of the investigation in the Bahamas right now, how would you characterize it?
Non-existent. Casey's loved ones alleging Bahamian police mishandled the investigation, leaving that tent, a potential crime scene, open to the public and never distributing missing persons posters. They had police and staff at the retreat told them they'd initially alerted some guests, but not all, that a woman had disappeared and asked Casey's family not to approach guests, explaining
they were on vacation and they wanted to respect their privacy.
The family fearing Casey may have been targeted, with the U.S. in January issuing a level 2 travel advisory to the Bahamas, warning of rising crime. Meanwhile, police there say their investigation has been thorough.
We used our drone technology. We used our K9. We've used our divers.
Authorities in the Bahamas telling NBC News investigators found Casey's phone in the ocean, but that her passport is still missing. The yoga retreat saying in a statement, we did our best to provide Casey's family with support, meeting with them along with the police and U.S. Embassy representatives on 2 occasions, adding they're providing guests with regular updates about the disappearance, and guests were encouraged to speak freely when Casey's family visited. That family growing more desperate by the day.
What do you think happened to your daughter?
I have no idea. That's what I'm trying to find out. Please, people, help me find my child.
Maggie, the family says they're afraid Casey was targeted. Do they or the police have any theories?
Yeah, so the police haven't released any theories publicly. The family believes that Casey is alive, but they fear that she may have been abducted. They say some guests and staff that they eventually got to talk to actually mentioned men who didn't seem like they were staying at the resort, but they were walking through it, they say, the week of Casey's disappearance. They said one man, for instance, had a walkie-talkie. He was standing near her tent, and they say another was wearing all black as he was walking on the beach and told a guest he was actually from Chicago, of all places. We reached out to Bahamian police to ask if they followed up on these leads. We haven't yet heard back. Meantime, guys, the family is so desperate, they've now even turned to Chicago police for help, who this week put out a missing persons alert in this case.
My goodness, that's a tough one. All right, Maggie, thank you.
All right, that's today. Very interesting. What do you think about that information?
I just, my mind keeps on going back to the two potential, or if one suspicious man with the walkie-talkie.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something else.
You got to count cameras. How they're going to get her out of there? See, all that's going to be work. The planks, the way it's set up, is tent for tent for tent. So we don't even know how many tents are on the plank. So you got to get that person out of there. If you did it by getting her out the tent. Somebody says they heard her tent zipping up that night at 11:30. So where's the surveillance? Now we hear that a security team looked at the video, but not the police. See, you don't know what to believe.
Yeah, you would think that if the tents were back to back, someone surely would have. If something nefarious was happening, someone would have heard something or saw something.
Yeah. My thing about this whole tent business, they need to get rid of that. Because if we're going to start, if this is the version you want to give, whether it's true or not, the fact that somebody has access to your tent where you're going to be sleeping indisposed, this ain't no good. Strangers walking through where you're sleeping in a tent, this is no different than going out in the elements and sleeping in the mountains, and anybody can walk by, a bear, a coyote, a two-legged creature.
Oh, that's
why I don't care for camping, because that's a recipe for disaster. Being out in the great open with no coverage. I know a lot of people like to camp. It's not my style. I'm not getting ready to sleep outside in the outdoors where anybody can just walk up and come in and unzip my tent.
It really depends on the area. In the Bahamas, that's
but people have gone missing and been assaulted, sweetheart, out here in the forest and shit in tents.
Yeah.
A camper is one thing, but a tent, that's free. That's freestyle.
Yeah, just go and camp. Yeah, I used to do that whenever I was a kid with my dad and my grandpa.
So this is something that's strange that a complete stranger can walk up to your tent. Come on.
Let me ask you something, Queen. It's something off topic, but did you see the post where she was talking about losing her dad?
Yeah, I read that. Mm-hmm.
Do you know exactly when? Was that recent, or was that just something? I think
all that's older, because I don't have access to the page to pull up anything new. That's probably
older. It was posted back in 2023, but I don't know if her dad passed in 2023 or if he passed prior to 2023. But she was saying that I miss my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm looking at the date, it's April 20th of 2023. I know it's not exactly Juneteenth, but it's about May, June, so 2 months after. Let's just assume that her dad did pass away last year. Yeah, I don't know. Is she still struggling with that? And that could have been a motivation to commit taking herself out of the video game.
I don't know. See, everything goes down to, as I always tell people, if you believe what's being told to you. That's the problem. Because that's all you have right now are versions. And it's just hard to believe anything coming out of the mouths of anybody pertaining to this ashram. So allegedly, you've reported a strange man. So now you wait to hear what they have to say. So see, it would have helped when the lady gave the statement to say, yes, we did get the report of a man being in the vicinity of these tents. You don't hear anything.
It's really telling how many people are not talking. Her friends, the people that were closest to her back in Chicago, her hometown, her high school, not even high school mates, just people that she was friends with.
But you see, we have this all the time with true crime, whether they pop up dead or they're missing. People just don't talk. They're sharing her stuff on their Facebook page. I've gone on Facebook and seen where they've shared it. Friends have shared it on Facebook.
Oh, sorry. I thought you kind of muted yourself.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh no, the audio, maybe it's my end because I'm on the phone, but
oh, okay.
yeah,
It might go out, might be the Wi-Fi. But yeah, my thing is, why not come forward and say something? And then this person, this light-skinned lady who's here, I thought she was a friend, but then when you go over to the Trans Law Center, no, when you go to the mother's Facebook page, she says, oh yeah, they sent their representative down here with me. So I'm thinking that light-skinned lady was her friend. I don't know. I don't know what's the truth. What the hell's going on? Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel like the mother should have let the public know that she's trans?
Absolutely. Yes, I do. And that's because it's not anything. Let's take politics out of side and social issues. The point is, she was born assuming that she is transgender, which I think I'm just going to go ahead and say yes, because she said she's referring to a lot of transgender awareness on her Facebook page.
Yeah.
You should let that be known that, hey, my biological born son who is transgender is missing.
Yeah.
Because I think that's crucial. And plus, like what you said, there were guys commenting, hey, you should be looking for a guy.
Right.
It's misleading to think that you're looking for a female.
Right.
When
it is misleading. And I don't think she realizes that.
I mean, who's to say that? Okay, let's be more optimistic and say that what if Taylor Casey, another avenue, she purposely framed her disappearance?
Yeah.
She doesn't want people to know where she is. Yeah. And she finally transitioned, because we don't know what phase that she was in. She finally became a man, or she finally got the procedure. She cut everyone off. She met somebody and started a new life.
Well,
I don't know. It's a possibility, but because most of the times, and if her family and her friends were struggling with her transition and not being accepting of it, assuming that, because we don't know what the truth is, who's to say that she was, in her mind, she was thinking, you know what? I'm done with this. I want to start a new life. I want a new identity. I'm going to change my name. I'm going to go down to the Bahamas. Yeah. I'm going to frame my disappearance, run off to a different country, possibly the United States, go back to the U.S., get a different name, and just be done with it.
Well, I'm looking at this thing in the queue, one of the videos, ABC 7, which is 3 days ago. So the light-skinned girl who's been doing all the talking, there is a picture of her, Taylor, and then looks like an Asian or Hispanic woman on the end. So obviously the light-skinned lady is a friend of hers, because I'm looking at the caption right now, the one that's been doing all the talking with the mother, Miss Williams. But the way the mother worded it on her Facebook page, like, oh, they sent their representative down here with me. I just thought that wording was kind of strange. If she's your daughter's friend, why is she a representative? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's weird.
When I just say that's my friend.
Yeah, why would you need to say that it's a representative?
Go to the Facebook page. It's right there. It's the mother's Facebook page. And so the mother basically lets the world know, people around them probably know that she was trans, because the mother, she says it, the LGBTQ, she worded it different. But the point is, that's how I put two and two together. I said, it's not that people can't be friends with heterosexual people from the community, but it led me to believe the daughter was trans. Once she said, I want to thank them. They're the ones that helped me send me down here and paid for everything. I didn't have to pay a dime. So now they got to go fund me up so she can, I guess, return if she needs to return, to the islands.
I'm conflicted I'm very conflicted
Right,
now.
conflicted now. Well, why, honey?
I don't know. I just try to keep an open mind when it comes to any of these cases because I don't know what the truth is,
Libra
and
says, "I
none of
love
us know
his
what
voice."
the truth is.
Libra says, "I guess Libra's a female. I like your voice."
Thank you, Libra. I
Okay,
get complimented a lot.
yeah, he's got a very professional voice.
And for a while,
Okay,
I
so
was
tell me why you
self-conscious about
conflicted.
it.
What are you conflicted about?
Well, I'm conflicted now that I'm looking into, my mind is wondering whether she could have purposely staged her disappearance and wanted to get,
I mentioned that as well. Pat Penny, Carly Russell.
or not even for nefarious means, just to start a new life, or she killed herself because she was unhappy for whatever reason.
Yeah, things ain't working out.
She lost her dad. That could have been a motivation behind her killing herself. I mean,
I don't know.
I think the timing is weird because it was 1 month. June 19th is Juneteenth, and she posted that on April 20th. So 2 months.
2 months. Yes, 2 months. It's a bit of a difference.
Technically 2013, 2009, 4 years. I'm sorry, what am I talking about? 2023. So it was a year and 2 months.
Mm.
So I don't know if her dad died recently, like as of last year, or if it was before 2023 and she was just, because people, they grieve. And I lost someone that was close to me here recently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm beginning to learn that.
Sorry for your loss.
No, you're fine. I don't mean to be offensive whenever I say this, but it needed to happen. And my grandpa, he lived a long life. He was a Vietnam veteran.
Mm-hmm.
He struggled with Alzheimer's the past 5 years of his life. So I'm glad that he's no longer in pain. But, it just goes to show that people, they grieve differently.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't hit them until a year afterwards.
Okay.
Maybe that's what happened with Taylor Casey.
I don't know, because I don't know anything about her. See, that's the thing. The mother, just the trans law, talks about her in a positive light, but it's still not telling you who she is, what she does in her spare time. See, that's something you didn't hear, her hobbies. So it does help if somebody would say, well, she likes to roller skate and travel. She also did this, that.
But what's
it's just a blank slate.
What's the dark side to that? What's the things that they're not wanting to come out, the mother or people that were close to her wanting to come out and say because they don't want to portray her in a negative light?
As someone was saying yesterday, going on and on about Black women, then her being trans, it's a bad stigma being Black, period, especially missing. Then you count you in another country. Then too, the ashram may not be accepting of a Black person and find out she's trans. Then you got to think about the Islanders. That's a country probably that they ain't for trans people either. So you can mix all of it in. It could be a factor, all of it. But we don't know anything. So it's hard to judge because we don't know what happened. You got to know her, first of all, to get to the part of the ashram. What happened at the ashram, the attitude at the ashram, the fact they're evasive. So you don't know if maybe somebody looked at her and thought, that ain't a woman, that's a guy. Somebody got the whisper, made her feel uncomfortable. See, you don't know. You don't know nothing. So it's just like you just throwing, as they say, needles and haystacks.
Throwing stuff to the wall and seeing what sticks,
Yeah, because you don't know. And if you got people that are not even being truthful in their conversation and being evasive, why am I going to believe any version you give about a man and a walkie-talkie and baseball caps and that? All that stuff means what exactly? Without some confirmation. Bring us video. Show us these people walking, acting peculiar. Are there video cameras on the planks where the tents sit? See, you need to know all that. And I didn't even hear her talk about that. Say, yeah, they showed us the cameras to show we have video footage showing the people going in and out there. TNC, I would have been asking all that. Where are the cameras pointing towards the tent. I want to see my child going in and not coming out, whatever. That's what I would ask. I need to see the surveillance. I want to see my child zipping up her tent at 11 o'clock, 10:30. See where I'm going?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't want to. I'm comparing cases here, and I don't want to get too much into Aiden Clune. But if you're familiar, for the ones of you that are familiar with the Aiden Clune case, for the ones in the chat that's watching, part of the storyline was the last people who actually saw him run into the Cherry Creek mountain range was the two ranchers who were out there farming in the early morning hours. But there's been no confirmation there's been no confirmation except a person's version that happened.
Yeah, and that's all you have in life is a version. So that's why I'm saying I can't sit here and bank on what these people are saying. As creepy as these two alleged incidents are,
they could just be making up stuff.
You still got to use deduction. We're not talking about an apartment building or a house and say two strange guys were walking by the house. You're talking about a very close proximity of tents. How are you going to get her out of there? How are you going to get her to the water without being seen, let's say, unalive her? Or down a beach, talking about at least an hour worth of walking. You got to count all that.
And you would think that if they drug her out of the tent forcefully, there would have been struggle and sound of that.
Look, biologically, she's a man, and she's 5'10". Whether she's lightweight or not, 145 pounds, it ain't to say she ain't gonna fight.
Yeah. There's going to be a struggle. Someone's going to hear that, and it's weird. It's just very weird. You're going to see the movement. You're going to see the shadows through the tent. Hey, what's going on over there? See what I'm saying? And just by someone saying that they heard the tent unzip. Well, what else did you hear?
Nothing. Just that they heard it zip up. So that's their confirmation. She made it in the tent on the 19th that night at 11:30, but yet she didn't make it for the class on the 20th that morning.
For all we know, these could have just been tourists that were down there. They heard the noise. They didn't think much of it. And they flew back to the U.S. and minded their own business. I don't know. But what I do know is that if she was taken out of that tent, like what you said, forcefully by someone would have heard that happen.
Yeah, because you can't say that nobody was up at 11 o'clock, 11:30. Somebody could have been reading, looking at their phone, looking at their iPad.
Stargazing, meditating or whatever.
Oh my God, that's stargazing. Well, that's the whole point, Wolf. We don't know. We don't even know if there's any truth to the tent zipping up, because that's he said, she said. Everything's he said, she said from another person. The tent conversation is allegedly told via two people. So, see, you don't know what to believe. Because she asked him about the tent, the 11:30, her going in the tent. And so then the person who told her that said, oh, well, somebody told me. See, now see where I'm going?
Yeah, it's just
so it's not even an actual person to say, yeah, I saw her go in the tent, or I saw a shadow that looked like her zipping up the tent. You don't even have that. Just, I heard the tent zip up. But then the person who told that version is not even the actual person that allegedly heard the tent. So see, it could just be a bunch of liars.
It could be a game of telephone. There could be truth.
That's what it sounds like to me. It's a whole lot of telephone with walkie-talkies and hats and shit.
And what you have said before, the truth lies at the beginning of the story.
Always. And what is the beginning? We don't even have a beginning because we don't really know when the hell she really went to class. So see, you gotta go from the moment she touched down on the islands.
Mm-hmm.
She checked in only because we know that because her clothes and stuff are in that tent. That's the only thing that can prove she actually checked in. The mother says her clothes were there. That's her Bible. But you got footage of her going and coming to classes, going in and out of the tent? When was the last time she came out of the tent? You don't have no camera on them tents, you have a major problem. Now you got to ask who last talked to her via the world.
Yeah, and those people is not talking.
They have the phone.
It's weird how it said that her phone was threw into the ocean.
Yeah.
But they found it?
And they found it.
So that would be, okay, right there. As soon as I heard that information, that's not good, because why would someone just be throwing the phone, whether it be your phone?
That's what Eden said. Why would you even be in the water with your phone?
Yeah, exactly. Unless you had a waterproof case, of course, and you wanted to. But it's 11 o'clock at night, so you couldn't see anything anyways.
Unless she was going live and somebody approached her in the water. Could that be it?
Perhaps, yeah.
You know, filming, hey, I'm feeling good, look at this. But then I think somebody would have told that, oh, she was going live and the video cut out.
But then think about all the people that were watching the live, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You know, you would think that at least, depending on how many people that were watching the live, they would come forth and say, hey, she was going live, and then abruptly it ended, and we heard.
So we know that, so we can scratch that. She wasn't in there live. So how did the phone get in the water? Did somebody take it out and just dump it out there? But then you still got to make it make sense. Where's the body? Even if I want to say it's foul play, where is her body? You're willing to drag somebody out and not worry about being seen to dump them in the water? You got to weigh them down. You got to have something to weigh them down. So that don't even sound logical.
That's a lot of work, and that's a lot of work to do.
Exactly.
In front of
eyewitnesses.
Yeah, a lot of eyewitnesses.
Yeah, because I would assume people would still be out at night walking on the beach, especially people from the ashram. You can't say, oh, well, they all went into bed early. They're grown.
It's the Bahamas.
So it don't really matter. Night or day, I'm out.
You know, people's going to be out, I'm assuming, walking the beach, probably buzzed, high, smoking a joint, you know, just enjoying life, just sober, meditating. You're going to take advantage of the time that you're down there. There's going to be so many eyewitnesses.
Well, that's the reason why I say it. You can't say what people do. You can only speak of what you would do when you went somewhere. But I said this before to somebody because, you know, it could piss me off to be sitting here trying to argue about how much luggage they took and what they would be doing. Oh, they're only going to do the yoga. They ain't going to sightsee. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
What if you get stranded down there? You would think that you would want to bring an extra 2 or possibly 5 sets of clothes. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you can go down there I know if I personally, me speaking, again, it's just me speaking. If I was going down there to the Bahamas, I've never been to the Bahamas, but if I was going, then I would bring at least a week's worth of clothes with me.
Well,
and that wouldn't fit inside of a little travel bag.
Wolf, I've mentioned that as well. We don't know who she talked to before she got there. We don't know if she was talking to somebody online. She could have been talking to somebody online and told them, I'm coming down to the Bahamas. I'll meet you when I'm there. We'll do lunch, dinner, or meet up for casual sex, whatever. She could have met somebody at the ashram and they thought she was a woman. See, it's 1,000 possibilities within the realm of the ashram and the island itself, because you got to have something to go on. She could have met somebody and represented herself as a female, didn't tell it. Just like I said, could have went on the beach, sat down, he touched her there and realized it's a penis down there. Okay, now it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
or we went somewhere and got in your car and took a drive to your house, to an Airbnb, and I didn't tell you I was a man. So now you out of the way for you to get hidden. If you made it off that, if she made it off that ashram and went with some people, that's where you can definitely hide the body, okay?
Yeah, if she left that island, that's not good. If she left with somebody on a car.
Why I said, don't say she only went there to fucking do yoga. You don't know her to say what she would and wouldn't do.
It's idealizing and turning missing people into angels. And the reality is we're all human.
Well, we are human. And we don't know what she was feeling. And somebody could have flirted with her, found her attractive. She did not tell them she was a man. So you can use common sense from there.
She could have met with somebody. She could have maybe intentionally or unintentionally.
Exactly.
Alluded to, hey, I'm a biological female. When they met, as what Queen said, shit popped off and they killed her.
Yeah. And you can get get rid of her. What I would say in a better situation than being at the ashram, because right there, people are going to smell a body, whether it be inside of a vent or you understand what I'm saying, right near a grass area. But if she went up by that hotel and walked up through there, it's on like Donkey Kong.
And if they went back to somebody's private resort,
exactly, yes,
then they could have done whatever they wanted to with her.
Because they could have said, some people in the ashram could have got together and said, hey, we're going to go have some drinks. We're going to go up by the hotel. We're going to have dinner. Just like I was wanting to say to the chat. How do you know? She didn't carry a nice dress with her, some heels. They could have told them that, hey, bring your nice dress. We do dinner. So you don't know. If you've never been, you don't know. You don't know her, you can't say.
And also, if it is indeed somebody that she was talking to online and they met her in person and then whatever happened popped off, the first thing that they would get rid of was the phone. That would be the first thing that I would get rid of would be the phone.
But that would lead us to go back to the beginning. Then that means the body is near that area.
Yeah, that's it. See,
so you still keep going back to the same thing. I'm not going to get rid of you over here off the island and throw your phone back way over at the ashram.
It doesn't make any sense.
Make any sense?
They would throw the phone, or they would if they were smart, they would just destroy the phone and make sure that motherfucker is never found. Crush it up, do whatever you want to, bury it, but that's not what happened. So
what happened?
That's part of the reason why I'm saying that I'm thinking she killed herself.
I think she carried a purse. I also think she carried a purse and the passport. So you still got to go back to that, honey. Where is the purse? Where is the passport? Where's her credit card? Come on now. I've seen now 3-4 pictures. She carries purses.
And if they would have stolen her credit card or passport, what you were saying earlier, that all that stuff could have been trackable. If they were using her credit card, her passport for fraud, that would immediately be picked up on.
Her journal, the police has her journal.
What was said in the journal? Do you know?
They're not telling nothing, honey.
That would be interesting to hear. I want to know what's in that journal. Because that's going to be a major. Well,
I don't know about her journal being close to her phone. I have not heard that. All I heard is that the phone was in the water. The journal, the police has it. I have not heard that her journal was nowhere near her phone.
By the time that this whole thing is said and done,
why would her journal be in the ocean?
Yeah, that would be pretty stupid, don't you think, to dump her journal?
I'm not going to care about her journal. She's a stranger.
Yeah.
Well, only people care about journals are people you're in a relationship with. She's a stranger. I have no reason to care about her journal. That's why I'm telling you, nothing makes sense to none of this. Because every time you try to weigh an option, you still you go back to square one, especially with this phone situation. That's where I'm confused. Phone in the water. She obviously carried purses. Where's her purse? She had to have a credit card ID. Maybe she changed money over. Where is that? Nothing found but her clothes, Bible, and yoga paraphernalia. Yoga paperwork. Come on now. Where is her purse? Where is her fucking passport?
God, you got my mind just rolling right now. It's going. I'm gonna have to look. I'll probably be talking about this on my channel, because now I'm intrigued. I didn't know anything about it. Like I said,
it's a mystery. Well, and I'm very glad that Chicago, my home, too, issued a missing persons alert there. So Chicago's a great city. It's like you're trying to tell people. There's a lot of crime there, but hey, they're showing you we care about our citizens. She may not be here, but we putting out an alert that she's missing. So people in Chicago will know she's missing. And I'm sure most people in Chicago probably know she is missing.
And also, Chicago emphasizes on LGBTQ big time. So they look out for their citizens when it comes to LGBTQ.
It's just. I'm going to say this as I have said in my commentary before. Stay your ass out of these places. Stop thinking it cannot happen to you. Because right now, no matter what, whether she unalived herself or it's foul play, there's still danger on the fucking island. Mexico, South American countries, it's all the same. Why risk going? I would not. The information I brought to people a month ago was troublesome. All the scenarios that were taking place in Jamaica and all that, when the women went and people were lying, people saying they were lying, they made up the story. In the end, it doesn't matter if they did lie. The point remains, there are people getting hurt there. So if you scratch that one little story about those two white women, you still got crime. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One little story is not going to negate what is the truth about crime itself. Those places are dangerous.
And see, those places, they view Americans, us, as dollar signs.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it don't matter if you black, you white, what you are. They don't care for us. They don't care for white people. But yet everybody keeps flocking down there like, oh, I'm important. You see what they did to that white couple off the islands? They dumped them off their own damn boat. Tied a weight to them and dumped them. Just hijacked their boat and threw them over. This is not a game.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, you cannot go to these places and think because you got a little bit of money that you can live cohesively in these countries. You cannot. Yes, there are people who are living there. They are lucky nobody's kidnapped them, raped them, but you still got to count your lucky stars that you're able to come through and say, oh, I lived in Honduras, I lived in Costa Rica, I'm doing really, really well. Nobody's assaulted me. Count your lucky stars. That's just the truth. I wouldn't go down there for shit. Nobody could call me right now and talk about, Queen, you want to take a cruise? Hell no. I ain't going nowhere. I can get hijacked right here. I get sexually assaulted, robbed right here. Walk out the front door. Just say
it can happen anywhere.
It can happen anywhere. But you know not to go. My thing is, you hear the crimes. You keep hearing all these crimes in Mexico, Honduras, Jamaica. It's not, to me, worth it. Because there are so many ways that people can get to you, just like it would be here in the United States. Those people can get those key cards, pop the door open. You ain't got no chair up to it. You ain't got the latch pulled over it. Anybody now standing in your room while you sleep. Because people don't think. People go in hotel rooms right now and don't flip that latch over. Because what they think is, well, the door's locked.
Well, there's ways around that.
Somebody still can come in with the damn key card.
I saw a video on Facebook of a person in the act. They went live or they videotaped themselves and they caught a person that was trying to sneak inside the hotel room or their Yeah,
it happens all the time. A hotel is a glutton, is an accident waiting to happen. So long as somebody behind that can watch people on camera come and go, see you coming and going, and you a single woman, single man, that's all they have to do. You know, we heard of that in, what was that, Nashville? I had read a story a year or two or so ago. It may have been a year ago. The guy was the guy that worked in the hotel, he sexually assaulted a man. Licking his feet. What the fuck?
Someone had a foot fetish.
Okay, so imagine a man coming to seeing somebody licking his feet.
But did he die or was he?
No, he just went in there and he was licking the man's feet, honey.
That's why I'm saying he probably have a.
But he worked there. My point is, he worked there. How do you think he got in the room?
He had access to it.
Yeah, he's watching him walk. He's watching him come and go. That's why I keep trying to tell people. There's always somebody watching you. God forbid you come in, you toe up, you drunk, you going in the room by yourself. You don't flip that latch over to lock the door. You can't just shut the door and turn the latch over. You got to flip that other thing over. So you can, when they try to come in, they're not going to be able to come in because you got the other latch over. People don't think about that stuff. Especially if you've been drinking, you're not going to think about it. You're just going to shut the door and turn the latch. If you remember to turn the fucking knob and lock the damn door. But yeah, the guy woke up. He was kissing his feet, licking his feet.
Wow, that's. I don't want to laugh because
was Illinois, Nashville, somewhere crazy.
I'm laughing because he didn't die, or nothing nefarious seriously happened to him. But still, that's disturbing.
I can't remember if they jumped up, had an altercation. The point is, the person got in the room. That's the point of the story.
See, and I've lived in
the room.
I've lived in motels for months in transitions of moving. Whenever I moved back to Kentucky, there was this one motel room that I stayed in for months, at least I want to say 8 months, maybe 7 months, 7.5 months. But it didn't even have I was fortunate enough where it was an extended stay motel, and I was the only room where I had a deadbolt. All the rest of the room, and it was a ran down, sketchy, even though it's in a small town, you never know what's going to happen. And I eventually moved from that place because I saw that there were people that were peering in through the windows.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of activity that was going on in that place. And I know exactly what's going on.
A lot of hotels, especially low budget hotels, they are transit places. So people are living off of Social Security checks, disability checks, their own drugs. There are people who are doing day labor, people working because they can't find a place. So you're getting all mixed up kind of people living in the hotels. They're actually living there. It's not you know what I'm saying? They live there. That's their home. And usually those people have a lot of problems, and they bring problems. They attract problems.
And see, I was a target. I'm just going to go ahead and say that because I was working full time. I still am, the vehicle that I drive and the vehicles that were around there, I noticed comments where people were complimenting my vehicle, but you have to read between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
You're catching people's eye, and that's immediately when my red flags went up. Yeah. And I said I need to get the hell out.
They time things when you're coming in. You getting off work, you coming home at the same time. You don't go shopping, you go straight home. That's why I keep trying to tell people. This is how people get assaulted. It's because a lot of people have a routine and they don't deviate. They always tell you that to deviate. Don't go home the same way. Don't drive home the same way. Don't walk home the same way. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't know who's watching. But we live in a world where people aren't thinking about stuff like that. I got to go home. I don't got time to be jumping off a bus and sit and wait for another bus because I'm worried about somebody stalking me or watching me. I'm ready to go home. And I get that. That's understandable. But the point is, this is also how people learn your patterns. Oh,
and it's even worse if
Susie's at work. Her car's gone. See what I'm saying?
And it's even worse if you're in a small town because everyone knows each other.
Well, people talk. In small towns, they do the most damn talking.
Not saying that big cities aren't less dangerous, but I'm just saying small towns, from my experience, from the police department, from law enforcement, there's a lot of shit that gets covered up in small towns.
I'm sure it is.
It's a pandemic, especially here where I'm at in Kentucky, because I've always known that KSP is dishonest, corrupt. There's a lot of people that know each other in the higher ups. There's families, sources, everybody knows each other, which makes it 10 times worse. It just adds gasoline to the fire. And like the similar to the case, I actually sent you an Instagram message, and I don't know if it's up to you if you want to come on my channel and give your commentary about it, but I've been in contact with an older case. It's the mother. Her name is Sarah Teague, and she is the mother of Heather Teague. She was 23 years old when she disappeared from Henderson, Kentucky, Newburgh Beach, in August 26th of 1995. Now, the story goes, just to chop it up in a nutshell, that she was drugged into the woods by a bearded man, and it looked like that he had matted hair or a mosquito net. But after speaking to the mother and all of the things that she's told me offline, privately, we don't know if that actually happened, because this mother's it's been 3 decades that she's been going back and forth with KSP to the court. And it's led to, it's going to the FBI, because there's been so much cover-ups, political corruption, drug activity, sex trafficking. all of that stuff is within this case. And KSP has deliberately covered it up. They want you to believe that a man that committed suicide back in 1995 is responsible for the crime, and it's an open and shut case, but it goes way, way deeper than that.
Interesting.
But it's up to you, Queen, if you want to, the invitation is open, because I did suggest to Sarah, and I mentioned your name and I brought it up. She would like to hear your commentary on what you think.
Yeah, but I said I don't know anything about it. I'd have to do it'd have to be a quick scan and research.
Oh no, that's fine. I sent you the article on IG. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Okay.
Like the latest article, because it said that it's getting a new look.
Well, who's investigating it now? Excuse me.
Well, it's currently under investigation by, I can't remember the exact names of it, but it's going to the Federal Bureau of Investigations.
Well, that's good. They can take a fresh look.
And it's taken 3 decades to.
Well, that's a lot of corruption. I can honestly say, just from that case out of Kentucky with the girl who went missing, had the kids by that guy who owned all that property. Small towns are probably more dangerous than Crystal. What her name is?
Crystal
Rogers.
Yes, out of Bardstown.
So my thing is, you should know there's going to be corruption in small towns, because they feel like they can get away with more than a big city. But we see there's corruption everywhere. So long as there's somebody that turns a blind eye, you're going to always have corruption, because you can't really have corruption without co-conspirators. And that's the sick part of the story, is that people go along. And I tell people this all the time. If so long as you coerce somebody to go along, you have a mad problem. And there's always somebody that knows the secret. Just like with Crystal. His family probably been known she's gone. For all we know, they help.
Mm-hmm.
Brother knew too. So see, obviously he had help. That's why that guy's arrested. The other guy, he's the one that's told. So see, there's always somebody that knows. It's sad to say, people can coerce other people into crimes, and they hold the secret.
What's really messed up about Heather's case is one theory that me and her mother have talked about is Heather could have been likely an informant to KSP, Kentucky State Police, under this sex and drug trafficking back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And back in the 90s, it was easier to get away with it because you don't have all this technology that you do now.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have they were just going by what the police told them. And there was an eyewitness. The whole thing that triggered this was an eyewitness that was observing Newburgh Beach through binoculars, and they witnessed the young woman get drugged into the woods by this man. So they contacted Indiana State Police because they were on the Indiana side. And then Indiana told them to contact KSP because it happened in Kentucky, but they took note of it. So there's 2 911 calls. But the thing about that is there was an hour and some odd change in between the 911 calls.
Okay.
So you would think, you see where I'm going with this? Kind of. Why would you wait an hour between the 911 calls to report what you just seen?
Well, look.
If it was an emergency. I'm telling you, it's a very strange, bizarre case.
From watching so much true crime over the years, there's always somebody that sees and hears something, and they don't readily come forward. It's just the way it is. You have people who will lie, fabricate, make up stuff, exaggerate. That's why I said about life in general, it's just a version. It's just a matter if you believe it or not. And what you can prove. That's just true.
And that's why the mother has said, if I actually did an interview with her where she came out, she was speaking from the heart. She poured her heart out on my channel. And she was saying that she doesn't know. The only thing that she knows what happened that day is that Heather was gone. She doesn't know. She doubts the entire version.
Well, how old is she? How old was she?
She was 23 years old.
Did she have children?
Not that I know of, no.
Thank the Lord for that.
So she was, it just breaks my heart just talking to the mother off YouTube, privately, just because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I moved back to Kentucky, and I was researching cases within the areas because out of curiosity, and I came across the case of Heather Teague, and that was the main one within the tri-state region of Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky.
Interesting.
And I decided.
So what, you reached out to the mother?
Yeah, I reached out to her, and I messaged her over a year ago, and I didn't receive any response back. I just said, "Hey, would you like to? I have a small YouTube channel. Would you like to come on and just share what you know about your case and tell your daughter's story?" Right. And I didn't hear anything back from her until about, I want to say, a month and a half ago. So she didn't see my Facebook message. And she finally, when she did see it, she replied back. She was like, "Absolutely." And she gave me her contact information. And I called her, and I was flabbergasted about the information that she told. I did not know how deep this case went. It goes deep. And that just goes to show what you've been saying. You don't know anything about these cases until you're directly involved with the people that are involved, such as the mother, the father, the family members, etc. You just don't know anything about the story, because I was going into it assuming that it was a cold case and that the original storyline, but all of the information that I know now, according to the mother and how she's been going back and forth with KSP for the past 3 decades, and it's led up to the higher ups, quote unquote. I mean, it doesn't get, a case does not get elevated to the FBI for no reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it originally started out as
a
state investigation.
When are you having the live?
Do what now?
When are you going live?
Well, we went live 3 days ago. I spoke with the mother. It was just last minute. We were actually planning on doing this, but there's another individual that was named Lori Phillips. I'm just getting into this right now. It's really confusing. I'm not trying to confuse anybody, but there was another individual that I'm wanting to bring on my channel. Her, Sarah Teague, the mother, and myself, and Lori Phillips is the individual that dated Chris Below. Now, Chris Below is a suspect within this case in the eyes of Sarah Teague and everybody else that knows about the Heather Teague case. Chris Below, you would have to have. It's see, the guy that they're wanting to pin this on, the guy that committed suicide back in September 1995, I think it was a few weeks afterwards. His trailer was raided for a drug bust, but allegedly what KSP is saying is that he admitted before he killed himself that he was responsible for Heather Teague and the suicide note that he left.
Okay. And you
right.
Don't believe it?
No, I don't believe it, because there's proof, because the mother has the suicide note, and according to what she's saying, it said, "I'm just sorry." So they're trying to pin this on Marty Gill, the individual that committed suicide, but this another man named Chris.
So he killed himself just because he didn't want to go to jail for drugs.
Well, yes, but KSP. What's really fucked up about it is they were coercing him into killing himself because they were trying to pin this murder on him. So they were lining his house and everything else, accusing him of Heather Teague's murder along with this drug bust. And it ultimately just put him enough pressure on somebody that.
And you guess what? How in the world are you going to prove that?
Yeah, I would like the mother to tell the version of her events, because I want it to be told from the horse's mouth. She knows way more about this. I don't want to get things misconstrued, but that's the basis.
Somebody I think killed herself because they had caught a drug charge. A lot of guys don't do that.
Yeah, that's the main red flag within this case.
Black guy allegedly think he killed himself because he had caught a drug charge. I guess he just didn't want to go to penitentiary.
You know, and then this individual named Marty.
Some people can't do penitentiary time.
There was another individual named Chris Belo, and he fled soon after Heather Teague disappeared. He ended up in Ohio, and he did time up there for the murder of another woman, but he's also associated with other missing women that ironically are similar to the appearance of Heather Teague, what she looked like.
Wow. And
so when he got out of the prison in Ohio, he moved. Well, let me backtrack. He started dating this female named Lori Phillips. Lori. I don't want to put her name out there, but he dated her for a short period of time, for a few months, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever happened, I don't know what happened. I haven't spoken to Lori. He moved to North Carolina, and then he changed his name.
Okay. So he's still alive?
Yes.
Well, I guess he will change his name.
You know, and they all suspect that he is responsible. You know, Sarah Teague and Lori Phillips, along with her daughters.
That's a lot going on. What you talking about?
Yeah, it's a very confusing. It's a very deep case. But if you want to know more about it, for anybody that's listening in the chat or the audience, if you want to know more from what Sarah Teague, the mother, has said about this case, then you can go over to my channel, and it's one of the most recent live streams that I posted. You're going to hear directly from what she said. She poured her heart out, and she just wants to bring Heather home. That's what she wants.
My.
Dead or alive, you know. And my assumption is, no disrespect, that Heather is gone, but you know, there's a possibility that she could still be alive. But, and I'm saying that because there was going back to the informant. If she was an informant, right, and if she was working with KSP,
you gotta prove that.
Yeah, you got to prove it. But if it is a case, then that would give one motivation to fake her disappearance, this whole fabricated story about her being dragged into the woods. Mm-hmm. And what's suspicious about that, I believe in 2003 or 2002, there was an individual that was located in Newport, Kentucky, and they were, I think, claiming to be Heather's sister and using her social security number. God. And that wasn't looked into thoroughly either. I mean, this whole case it's a merry-go-round.
Well, then that means she wasn't using her own social security number. Somebody else was using it, probably. Because you can track a social security number anywhere.
Yeah.
So they might have been using it because she was missing. Or thinking she was dead.
But you would just have to look in. I'll let you look into the case yourself. I don't want to speak too much about it. I don't want to confuse anybody or give misinformation about Heather Teague's case.
Well, I must say, you got this one, honey. Queen can't jump on that. That's a whole lot going on. My head spins enough with the few things I'm talking about. I can't even keep up with the stuff I'm talking about because every time I turn around, it's a new update. It's a this. That's why I keep telling myself, you need to start slowing down on some of these, you know, because they're all running concurrent with each other. You know, you pick up one, then you got to keep up with the court dates. And I just really want to do freestyle type work on the network. I really don't want to be keeping up with dates and times. And I just don't have the stamina for it anymore. I really don't.
I know that you're frustrated with a lot of these YouTube channels that are EOSs, and I'm right up there with you.
Look, I speak on it when I feel like it, but I don't dwell on it every day. Like some people just go on and on every day about these people. But it's a sad situation. So that's why I said my network wasn't built on true crime. I didn't come to YouTube on true crime, and that's what a lot of people don't understand about my network. If you go back into my library from 19, I talk about all kind of things, and a lot of it's just hypothetical situations that I've experienced with people. It's not true crime.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See, with my channel.
That's why the channel was lightheartedly everyday shenanigans. Because I was just talking about that, everyday shenanigans. But then once I started talking about these true crime cases, I felt the title over the years was just too cheeky for talking about true crime. But now that I've talked about true crime the past couple of years, I really don't want to be even affiliated with a true crime, quite frankly. It's not my cup of tea.
You're opening up the vault to the darkness and to the abyss.
Well, and guess what? I can shut the damn door too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the door, because it's I just don't really want to be looped in to the true crime genre. Not this type of true crime that they got going on up on YouTube. I don't really want no parts of this shit.
You know what the true crime is? The criminals that are talking about it.
Well, maybe. Well, that's how it's
keeping it real.
Quite frankly. That's how it's looking, quite frankly. So it's just like, man, y'all got all that. I'm not trying to be in competition with none of these people. I don't really care for none of them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I feel like this. I'm versatile. I'm really different than most YouTubers. They can't do what I do. They don't know how to go off of true crime and then talk about Puff Daddy or talk about immigration. They don't got that. You understand what I'm saying? They can only, to me, a lot of people talk, true crime. It is what it is. They're one-hit wonders. That's their only mantra, 24 hours a day, same topic. I'm not that type of person. I don't want to sit on talk of the same topic every damn day. That's not who I am.
If you want to get off topic, what do you think about the new lawsuit from the porn star? What is her name? Miss English with P. Diddy?
A hot mess.
Yeah, she's claiming that under her employment. Yeah, she's claiming that under her employment that she was forced to. Well, it was required that she would get extremely inebriated with alcohol and
that's substances. The one case I can say you don't have a leg to stand on. 3 years of doing that. Come on, it's really no different than really the bullshit with Cassie, except she dated him. At some point, you have to stand account for what you're doing. Okay,
exactly.
I felt drugged one time. Why am I going back?
And then he's
somebody drug me. I'm not going back to their house. I don't care. I'm not going back.
I think she also said that P. Diddy said that if you don't do just paraphrasing what they were saying, the news outlets, the media outlets, they were saying that P. Diddy offered an ultimatum: if you don't do this, then I'll blackmail you and your boyfriend, at the time her boyfriend, from the industry or something like that.
Well, my understanding, she said he solicited him for oral sex during the audition. Yep. That's the content I got. Oh, yeah.
She solicited him?
This is what I think about him. I think Sean needs to just finally come on out and say, I like men, I like women, and be done with it. Had he done that years ago and lived in his truth, he wouldn't have none of the problems he has right now of people coming out of drones and helicopters trying to sue him for old shit.
Well, he still could, but you're absolutely right with him living in his truth. I think that he needs to come out and just be honest with himself.
You just try to choose people wisely. You should know you just hooking up with any Tom, Dick, and Harry. You're inviting trouble as a wealthy person. That's just common sense.
Because you can be sued.
Pick up some strange kitty cat and ding dong from any Tom, Dick, and Harry, and you're a multimillionaire. That's just common sense. You got to choose wisely. You're not a regular person, so you just can't go out here and just have random sex with folks. Obviously, he was doing it. Okay, well, look at the payback now. See what I'm saying? Even though I knew there was some nefarious deal goings on with, drugging women, passing them to the friend. Yeah, I think he did all that. But the point is, you got to prove it. And it's old, so that's the issue. You got to prove it. That female working with him, drinking out of bottles and this and that. Like I said, if the first time you felt funky when you woke up or you was in the bed with 3 guys, 3 women, you knew then not to go back.
Yeah, she was also claiming that she was forced to, she was passed around, quote unquote, to the
But see, that don't
party.
even make no sense right there. Can't nobody pass you around. They can pass you around maybe one time, but not for 3 years.
Eventually, you would get tired of it. He's not keeping you there.
But you see what he's about. Let's just say you went one night and you saw what was going on. It was your choice to go back in.
True. Yes.
You can't sit up and say, I was employed by him. There's no such thing as you was employed by him. You chose to go back if he asked you to come back.
And she willingly came back.
She willingly went back. So that's my point. So I don't,
she sold her soul.
That lawsuit means absolutely nothing to me.
That's
also somebody jumping on the bandwagon trying to get them some money in that situation.
Did you hear about the information about him selling his Miami mansion?
No, I have not.
Yeah, he put his Miami mansion, the same one that was raided by police, up for sale.
Yeah, he owed mortgages. Then too, he's losing money from all his endeavors and advertisements and things. So that's money gone. So you making 10 here, 10 there. Those millions add up. And then too, I just heard he pays Sting every month for that every breath you take. He took that rights without his permission. I just saw a short of that. And Sting was doing an interview with some black guys, and Sting, they asked him, hey, is Puffy having to pay you money? And he was talking about every day he gets $2,000 plus a day.
Wow.
Now imagine you got 30 days in a month. How much that is time 2,000+.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
And there was also a law firm. I came across this information last night because I just came across the lawsuit yesterday. Did you know that Lady Gaga? You know who Lady Gaga is, right?
Now, Bandit, you know damn well I know who Lady Gaga is.
Okay, well,
I'm not dead. Look, I'm older, but I ain't dead.
I was just making sure because I don't know. I don't ever see you talking about her or anything, but I don't talk about her a lot.
I want to watch that movie with her in it, the one she did. The Gucci House or whatever it was, something.
I didn't even know she had a real movie coming out.
Yeah, no, she did a movie a year or so ago. It came out about. It's either the House of Gucci, Prada, something that I gotta because I had shared it on my page last year.
Well, Lady Gaga, she went to this one law firm, I believe somewhere in New York, and she offered them an ultimatum, allegedly, if they don't drop P. Diddy, then she would be leaving that law firm, and they feared that, because they feared that.
Oh, I think I might have seen that in passing when I was doing my short the other day.
Yeah, they feared that if Lady Gaga left, then that would turn into a snowball effect of all these other celebrities,
so basically they let him
celebrities.
Go. They let him go for that reason, Lady Gaga.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and she did this behind scenes.
Already did a short on that about them letting him go.
That's, and that Lady Gaga, the part that what I was mentioning last night, I'm going to re-record that video. I deleted it. I think if I haven't deleted it, I'm probably going to delete it and redo it. But the part that struck me was how secret and incognito she was about it. That expresses true motivation and rage, and how displeasured she was against P. Diddy, because they know the pull that Lady Gaga has on the industry, especially pop music and just music industry entirely.
Interesting.
Maybe she didn't want to be high profile about it. She was like, I'm going to do what I need to do. I don't need it to be known, but this is what I'm going to do.
The flip side of that would be somebody to say, but who are you to tell them who they can represent? It's a business.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you can't tell really, and all in all, you can't tell somebody who to represent as an attorney. Come on.
But they could have feared that if they lost her, what I'm thinking is that
I know where you want with this because of who she is.
Yeah, her notoriety and her pull. But yeah, what you're saying, it's really up to them whether they want to drop P. Diddy or not.
Yeah. Because if that's the case, imagine everybody went and complained about who somebody represented, and you're representing me. You would never have nobody. Think about it. A client list of people. If everybody got mad about who a lawyer represented, or even an agent, it's the same thing. You will have no clients. Anybody can go complain. Oh, he got a DUI. I don't want you representing him. See where I'm going?
Yeah, they could. It's kind of like you're letting one person hold the power.
Then somebody will say, well, that's favoritism. Who is she that she's so important? I mean, I understand, her methodology is, well, he's these type of crimes, but the point still remains that is their job. They can choose to represent who they want.
They can pick and choose.
I don't have to like it. I'm an outsider. But then people say, well, now you've got people throwing their weight around. So what about the next time? She don't like the next person that has allegations for whatever. You going to then do what? Drop them too? Because Lady Gaga told you, well, if you think about it, it's like tattletelling. Well, you represent them. I'm leaving.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what
because I'm trying to be more objective in my commentary and judging things. But when you flip it, it's like she could do that every other day. She hears something.
There's two sides of the coin.
Same thing too.
Who are you? Regardless if you're Stephanie or Lady Gaga, know, who are you to tell you need to drop P. Diddy from your law firm?
Right.
Or else
so that's
I'm
what
leaving.
I'm saying. So imagine everybody went into a lawyer's office crying and moaning about who their client list is that they've heard. That's why I'm saying then you would have nobody because everybody would be doing the same thing. Somebody could easily say the same about her. They don't like her. Why are you representing her? I'm going to leave because I don't like Lady Gaga.
I think regardless of this outcome, I'm just curious about what's going to happen to P. Diddy because it ain't going to be good.
Well, if their charges brought, whether he ever paid anything to them civilly, because I don't think it's going to be a matter of him paying anything to all these people, but I think one or two of these little charges is going to stick.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that they've called in people to the grand jury to talk, that's not a good sign. Once you call in the grand jury and they've called so many witnesses, 50 to 100, however many, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign at all.
And people that they've been talking about, the state of New York does not play around when it comes to indictments. If they have you, then they're going to stick to it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've seen that with R. Kelly. We've seen that with who else? Epstein, Weinstein. Just like they got this new bullshit out about Epstein and him taking a plea. And I'm just like, why are we on this? Why are we on this? Y'all wait good to people dead want to start bringing up stuff about this and that. And just like with OJ, we're selling his estate. I mean, his, what was that? Shit, I forgot. Something about OJ and, some of his belongings being sold. And then I just saw something in the Newsbreak Q said something about he was immoralized or something on BET. And I thought, what, BET? Y'all did that? I didn't hear about that.
It wasn't Ice Cube. It was somebody else that was talking about that New York indictment, the one that always, he's been very vocal about P. Diddy for a long time. Who is his name? It's off the top of my head. I've talked about it on my channel. It's not Ice Cube. It's 50 Cent. That's who he is.
Oh God, the wagon mouth.
Yeah.
Well, he just signed a deal too to do a documentary about him.
Yeah, he's been
Netflix or somebody.
Yeah, it's just a
50 Cent.
crazy
He's all
situation.
about the money. He would fit in on YouTube perfectly. He would fit in. Look, don't be flashing us.
Sorry, I meant to hit my mic. My mic.
You want to flash us?
Maybe.
In late morning. But you understand what I'm saying. 50 Cent's all about the money. He's trying to make his money either way. So it don't matter who he's talking about. He could be talking about walking dogs in a park, 50 Cent is just a complainer. He's just a straight bitch to me. That's all he do is complain. If
Well, he
you
talks
know any
about
better,
everybody.
he's a 50 Cent to me. You know who 50 Cent is? He's a black version of Trump. All he do is gossip.
Oh no, he's a black version of Jaguar Wright.
Yeah, well, Donald Trump too. They just gossip. I always got something to say. I always got a complaint. Trump used to
At Williams,
anytime something happened, Trump would jump in and have something to say about what's going on. Stuff that didn't even concern him. It's like, what do you care what these random ass people are doing? Who cares?
It's news. It sells.
Yeah, I mean, but you're a president. Presidents aren't supposed to be doing that. You should not be jumping in on every little thing that an entertainer is doing and saying. That's really not your job. And that was something that was so unappealing about him doing that. I used to think, don't you have a White House to run? Why are you worried about who the hell is doing what over here in Hollywood? I could care less.
I think part of it was because part of the reason why now I don't want to get. I know how you are with politics. You don't like politics.
Yeah. I try not to talk because it causes problems. Because a lot of the fans they like that certain person, so it just causes a lot of problems.
Yeah, I'll just keep my mouth shut then because I'm not trying to cause problems on your channel. But what I was just going to say that I think that what Donald Trump, part of the reason why people mostly have an issue with Trump is the things that he says that comes out of his mouth. I think that he's an attention seeker.
That's why I compared him to 50 Cent. They don't know how to be quiet. You don't have to speak on everything. That's a sign that something's wrong with you. You do not have to go live on everything that makes breaking news. That's just really common sense. It's just like being up here on YouTube. I cannot possibly talk about every waking subject, every true crime. It's impossible. And the fans sometimes act like they don't understand that. I don't have that kind of time. I don't want to do that because you're never going to be satisfied anyway. You want somebody to jump on every waking story. It's the same thing. I don't have to have an opinion. You have an opinion. You're entitled to that. I don't know about the story. I don't know about the story. If I want to talk about it, I will. If I don't, then I don't. But I don't have to speak on it. But there's lots of subject matters that happen every day here in America I don't talk about because I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, like I have the Newsbreak app, and it said right here, just coming in, that a pop singer was killed or something like that. I probably won't be talking about that, but I receive these updates, and most of the stuff.
That's why I get a lot of my content from. It's the Newsbreak.
Yeah, I have the same app downloaded on my phone.
Yeah, I've recommended to the chat. They want to, if they don't like watching news or they don't have cable, it's to get the news break app, then put your location in there or nearby, and then you'll get all the local stuff in your own demographic. So that's how I keep up what's going on here, in the area where I live.
I just recently downloaded it because, well, you've been talking about it, and other people I've heard has been talking about it, and I receive breaking news updates about who got shot, killed.
Oh, it's everything local. You get local, you get national. You also get news from London, Ireland, all of that. Because some of the people in the articles, they get mad, like, where are we hearing this? I don't live in Ireland. Why are we getting this? And I thought, well, honey, they just want to let you know. You don't have to comment. It's a choice.
You know what's so strange?
Why would you even comment? If you see it's in London, then keep it moving.
Yeah, exactly. There's I don't know, for some reason YouTube's algorithm. Part of my audience watches from Australia. 2% watches from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3% watches from the UK, and then a very small percentage watches from India.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I noticed a change. I noticed a change in my algorithm months ago when I started going live from my phone and not the computer. I got more views by phone than the computer. That's how my content got up, and I got more subscribers. Plus, I have somebody else that recommends my content, and his followers come over here to my network. So that has helped a lot. But I noticed that doing more shorts and doing the going live from the phone got me more views than sitting on a damn computer. The algorithm is off on the computer.
Yeah, it's just going directly from StreamYard. The cool thing about shorts is when you do shorts, you can actually do a related video and include it within the shorts. YouTube gives you the option to that, so it leads you to other content.
So I can honestly say it's been very helpful too with the shorts. See, I never thought about shorts because I get exhausted just doing the live streams. But then once I saw I was getting, more recognized in the shorts, I said, oh, I'd rather do the 15-second shorts than do the live streams, because you understand what I'm saying?
Saves time, yeah, saves time.
It's only certain content that I talk about on the network that gets me actual views, which is always either Sebastian or one of them stories. So that's why the shit is off, because the people only want to talk about the same stories all the time. So and so that's the only way you get the views is if you're talking about the same subject. What are days I don't want to talk about him?
I don't want to talk about Benny Keys, Ernie Shell every day.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But see, they like hearing all that garbage.
Yeah, that's what the audience wants, and I oblige your request.
They feed off of that.
I don't want to be constantly talking about it.
But I feel like there's just too many topics. But see, the difference with me is the other YouTubers, they can't talk about other topics. They stay on the same thing. That's their mantra. Is the true crime, missing kids. They don't really know how to talk about other things because that's not what they're on, which is an advantage to me because I feel like this. I'm not trying to compete with you anyway. We're not even in the same league. So you talk about whatever you want on your network. I'll talk about what I want over here. Just like 1 minute we're talking about true crime. 1 minute we're talking about a stupid YouTuber. The next minute we're talking about toenails and hair on the body. See what I'm going? We jump. Because, most people, they can't stay on topic anyway. They just can't.
Right.
The last 5 did get a little raunchy.
No, I heard it. Yeah, I was listening to it when certain parts I was skimming. I had to skip through it. Yeah, I was, and I was.
I was listening to it before. I was dozing off to sleep, and I was like, "Oh, Queen, you gotta be shaming yourself." I was just laughing at myself. Some of the stuff I was just going on and on. I told myself, "Oh my God, you need to get help."
No. You were making sense when you were talking about Ernie Shell, because I've been talking about Ernie Shell on my network. And
Tracy was liking him. Tracy likes him for some reason. So
I don't see why.
Listening. But like I told her, I said, you still got to weigh all this nonsense. It's getting old. Why in the world would he wait this late to say that? I said, Tracy, you got to be honest. He's had ample enough time to tell that.
One thing you have to like what you said, Queen. It's very stupid and negligent. That's the word I'm looking for Ernie Shell to come out and say this about Candace Bly, about Dawn Wells allegedly hitting Summer over the head with a hammer and smothering her with a pillow.
Because if he was told this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, why are you just not telling the public? You should have told us a long time ago.
Yeah, you should have told it. Why didn't you tell us then? And now that you're telling us, you're putting Candace Bly at risk. Because Dawn Wells is probably thinking, which he is, he watches every YouTuber.
He sure does.
And he's thinking, well, Candace, did you tell Ernie this?
Exactly. Why would he say you did?
Tracy
was listening, and she was like, well, she's trying to hint to the fact that, well, she's been with him all this time doing and saying stuff, but you don't know what could push a person over. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just judge it. Well, she's been with him. Well, a lot of women are with batterers. That's nothing new. But then you don't know what's going to set a batterer off either.
Yeah. And if we are led to believe that Dawn Wells and Candace Bly allegedly did something to Summer Wells, and if Ernie coming out and saying this, that would give more motivation for Dawn Wells to off Candace Bly, because she's like, oh, well, you're a walkie-talkie. Well, you're going to have to go too.
Well, we always questioned that back in the day. Who would be the first person to fold and tell? So let's go here. Do you believe that that's true, that he hit the child over the head or hurt the child?
No. Absolutely not. I don't believe anything that Ernie Shell has to say. Ernest Max Shell.
He's just doing this for attention.
Yes, I do, because I think that he's a burning match. And Ernie Shell, I don't know what's wrong with him. Let me say this. I know that on my network, I've been very crude with my commentary because I view Ernie Shell as a joke. Okay. He's a liar. He's been a known liar. He's exploited the Summer Wells case. He's exploited other cases. He's exploited other people online, scammed people. And one thing that you have to understand about Ernie Shell, this is not the first time that he's faked a health condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did tell Tracy today, because we talked privately offline, and I said, well, he do look sickly in the picture I saw.
Yeah,
the
he
video.
does.
He looks sick, or thinner rather.
Yeah, I think that there is something wrong with him, but I don't know if it's cancer, HIV, AIDS, syphilis. I don't know what it is.
Slow down, horsey. Now that's a hell of an allegation now.
Well, I'm just saying that's the liver cancer thing. That's what Ernie Shell has said himself.
Okay, but where did HIV come in at?
That's what other people are just saying. I don't know if that's true or not.
Good God Almighty.
Allegedly,
Yes,
people they're saying that it's HIV, hepatitis, allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is that the man does not look healthy.
Yeah,
there's something
I can say that
wrong.
in the video I saw about 2 weeks ago, a week or two. I said he didn't look well. He didn't look well at all.
He's
well, I can say about another YouTuber. She been up here, her look like all her hair about to fall out, and I'm looking like, you people ain't taking care of yourselves, but y'all steady want to go live. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I'm not getting ready to be sitting up in front of the live screen knowing I'm sickly.
Yeah, you would think that.
I'm not going to show myself. No, I wouldn't do that.
And see, that's what leads me to believe that there is something wrong with Ernie. But don't you think that if you remember, I don't know how long you've been following. You probably don't follow Ernie Shell. Keep up with his shenanigans.
I don't keep up with all the people that was involved with Summer Wells. I can't get down like that.
Well, last I believe it was in early 2023, he was getting kidney dialysis, which he was. He was getting kidney dialysis.
But that's probably what's wrong with him then.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying to my audience. I'm like, there could have been something that was. He found out that he had cancer allegedly last year, and that's the reason why he was getting kidney dialysis, and that's he's just now coming out and saying it.
Together, like my father had heart failure. Well, the heart failure caused the kidneys to fail, so it's a slow burn of your organs breaking down.
And Ernie needs to take care of that instead of going live. But you know what? The other thing that I was talking about on my live stream with Ernie Shell, yes, Ernie is negligent when it comes to his health, but it also comes back down to the audience and the people that follow him. Because they keep on agging it on. They keep on saying, oh, yeah, Ernie, and throwing him money, and he's willing to do whatever he wants to with it. But they keep on encouraging him to keep doing what you're doing. We want to see more content. And Ernie Shell has said that this entire YouTube thing has been a movie. That's his words, not mine.
Well, it is like a movie. It's a slow burn.
Yeah, you're witnessing the demise.
That's all YouTube is. It's a slow burn.
You're witnessing it's disgusting because people are up here witnessing the demise of a person.
Well, but guess what? He should have enough sense to care more about his health than feeding the masses nonsense. So that's a choice. So to me, he's no different than T-Rev, these other YouTubers that make up all this shit like they're hunting eggs and, witch hunts and all this old stupid shit they be putting on and performing. The point is, you're doing this to yourself. So in the end, the same people that's rooting for you, they're going to be the same ones to turn on you. And that's what a lot of these YouTubers don't get. That's why you have some YouTubers right now that aren't even on YouTube. Because just as quick as people were putting them on a pedestal, they took their asses down.
Yeah, Ernie Shell is
it's a choice of what you decide to do.
Ernie's just one of the last ones. His channel, he's had 8 channels, I believe, deleted so far. He's ban evading. And it's only a matter of time before that one channel he has goes down.
Well, my thing is this: if he's sick, it's not going to even matter about the channel. The man probably is on his last leg, so the channel is really irrelevant. The man is probably just feeding time right now. You understand?
Yeah, that's all he has. That's all he has.
He's doing something because he probably already has a diagnosis. He's probably already been told, how much time he's got. So it's just something to do in the meanwhile, which that's probably what he was doing before he even knew he had cancer.
A lot of these people
these people are all doing really the same thing, and they ain't got no sickness. They just doing shit to be doing it.
Yeah.
They don't care nothing about these children. They don't care nothing about these missing people. It's just they saw somebody with a channel. They saw they were getting views. Well, let me start talking about it. And then people start spreading their name out. And then before you know it, you get 1,000 subscribers, and you get 2, then you get 3, then you get 6, and you go from there. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, it's just a build-up. It's just theatrics. That's all I see up here, pertaining to true crime. That's why I like watching other things on YouTube. To me, that's more beneficial. I watch a lot of different content on YouTube. And, you know, those people, they ain't into none of this goofy ass shit over here at all. And I
Exactly.
some days just even saying anything about these YouTubers, because when you go to these other home decor shows and people talking about organization or whatever they content, they don't care nothing about this garbage over here.
No, this is just a small little.
They wouldn't be caught dead watching this shit.
This is just a little small corner of YouTube that people, you know, within the community think it's huge, but YouTube is huge itself.
If you go just search stuff, you'd be surprised at how many people got a channel. Whether they upload shit once a year, twice a year.
There's people with 200 subscribers, and see, that's why subscribers on YouTube, you can buy subscribers, but they'll eventually die off because YouTube comes in and cleans up your content. And it also, if you buy subscribers and if YouTube catches on, then your channel will be deleted.
What do you mean buy subscribers?
Because people do that. Yeah, you can buy subscribers from sites, Storm Views, everything else. So I tested it years ago.
I don't know anything about that.
I tested it years ago just to see what would happen. And you know what happened? It fucked up my entire channel analytics, and all of those subscribers that I bought, which I think was only 200, just fell off over time. But still, it had long-lasting impacts on my channel. And if YouTube catches you doing that, then your channel, they'll eventually delete you. That's what.
And then you have to go find another email to sign in.
Yeah, and then you'll be ban evading then, because that's how ban evading. That means if your YouTube channel gets deleted, that's why they say ban evading. That means you've been terminated from the platform. You're banned. You cannot have. You can create another Google account, and you can still comment. But if you create content and if you get 1,000 subscribers with 400 hours of watch time, and then you try to monetize, YouTube's going to catch you. And that's how most people get terminated.
Well, I don't plan on getting involved in all that because I'm
me either.
I do good to get up and do a live stream. I'm just going to keep telling you the truth. It's a lot of work that it's really not really, in my opinion, paying off as it should. And that's what people don't understand. Like all this long-winded going live and stuff, it's not paying off. It's just
and I said in I tell people, you put too much emphasis on the subscriber count behind these people. You think that just because they have 50,000, 100,000 subscribers, you think they're some type of celebrity or they can do no good. They're just God. But in reality, these are fucked up individuals.
Well, it's
at
obvious.
Least humans.
Because I can honestly say most of the people who I've seen that have a high subscriber content, their content
fraudulent.
is sensationalism. You understand what I'm saying?
Fraudulent.
Yeah, but however, it's sensationalism. It's all that duck, duck, goose, down the rabbit hole type content. It's always, I got somebody I want to talk to. I got somebody I want to show you. Hear it live from, live at 5. I got Pookie Ray coming on the panel. It's always theatrics. And then you see that shit with T-Rev. He's a prime example of why this platform over here with this is garbage.
I don't
garbage.
I don't watch T-Rev. I haven't even. Honestly, I can say I don't watch T-Rev.
Yeah, but he's not the only one. That's the point I'm trying to make. He's not the only one. He's just the only one at the moment where all the little secrets are coming up out of the hole. That little monkey's coming up out of the hole. But hey, as I say, what's done in the dark come to light. That's common sense. So that's why I tell people, you're putting your faith in these people, you don't know anything about them. And now you see this man, had his friend calling in, pretending to be somebody related to the story or having knowledge of some crimes that never even took place with that DeSoto case. So see, that right there is sick. But you'll still have people following him, sending money, because they're sick too. That's why I keep telling people, a lot of you are just like the people. That's why you following them. And a lot of people don't like when I say that. I don't care.
I'm a small channel, but I tell people that at the end of the day, once this YouTube clicks off, I'm in good health. I'm eating good. I have a job. Thank God. All of this stuff. There's a lot more that goes on just besides YouTube. Even if my YouTube channel
but they don't realize that. And you could tell, let me tell you something. I'm a good observer. I watch people's commentary. I watch what they say on my posts, the polls, the videos, the shorts, and you realize how delusional a lot of people are that watch YouTube, especially with the true crime and even the comment on the news stories. They are just like the people in the story. They're just like the YouTube creators. And they all are 1 second from becoming content on the fucking news, and they don't even realize it. All you have to do is look at how they talk in the chat, how they talk under the videos, and the first thing you're saying to yourself, oh yeah, this is one in the making. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was one person last night. I was going live, and I was doing tarot card readings for celebrities, and one person asked me to read on Taylor Swift, and they asked me, and they said, Can you read on this one person? I forget the person's name, but it's a fan, just a regular old fan of Taylor Swift. Apparently Taylor Swift and this person's been getting into it. And I was thinking, of course, I obliged the request because they donated, they paid me, they tipped. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you people have way too much time invested into these celebrities, because you're claiming things in the comments section, like what you were saying, what you were saying, Queen. There's these people, they act like they know them personally, and you've never met these celebrities a day in your life. Well, and if you have, it's only been a brief interaction.
Well, it's the same as the true crime. You form an opinion, and then you bank on that, and then you ride it in the ground, and then you get mad because somebody won't ride the ride with you.
And then they unsubscribe and leave nasty comments.
Right. And so that's fine with me, because just like I tell people, I'll give you just what you give back. And I have shown people how much I really appreciate the ignorance. And they know exactly what I mean when I said that.
I like to tell people, if you unsubscribe or if you get mad at me having a different opinion, then you don't need to be over here to begin with.
Well, and that's how I feel about it. Because that's the whole point to it. You can't get mad because the creator or other people don't agree with what you're saying, and they don't want to affirm what you're saying. A lot of things that people say in the chat don't even be making no sense. So you can't expect me to agree with something that, one, is not even logical. You can't get mad at that. That's your opinion. That's your assertion of what you think happened in the story. I don't have to agree with you. It's just life. I'm not going to sit up here and promote your thought process because you think that I should. I tell people that if you feel that firmly about anything that's going on in any of these cases, or a breaking news story, go build your own channel. And you can sit over there and scream and rant and cuss and fuss till you're blue in the damn face. That's it. That's all you gotta do. What's the deal? Let's look at this. But I'm not going to sit here and bust a blood vessel about nothing that's happening in breaking news.
Or what's been said about Harry Styles or Taylor Swift or any of the rest of these people.
I don't even keep up. Matter of fact, I don't even keep up often with, Hollywood news. If I see something, I might pique my interest a look, but I just don't go on and on about it. I tell people I jump from one thing to the next. I'm on to the next. You know what I'm saying? I'm on to the next. That's me. I'm not trying to sit up and just keep talking about the same thing all day. Like I say, everybody got their own thing they want to sit up and talk about. But I'm diverse. I like to talk about different things.
I'm the same way. You know, I try to, the main two topics that I would say I feature on my channel would be a mixture between true crime and pop culture, because I like to add a mixture to that. I don't like to be dark all the time.
Well,
My channel is not a true crime channel.
It's dangerous. You can summons that demon up out that ground.
Yeah.
You talk about the same old dark shit all day, you can best believe you will probably be a party to your own content. That's why I don't like talking about it. Because guess what? Talking about it leads to looking at it once you turn the phone and the camera off. See where I'm going? Now you're going to bed to that. That's just too much. It's too much. And I told myself that you don't need to be talking about dark stuff, then go turn the TV on and watch some old horror movie. You know what I'm saying? That's insanity. Then you wake back up, you go back live again in the day or night, still talking about crazy macabre stuff. That's too much energy you're putting out into the universe.
It's brainwashing. You're subconsciously brainwashing yourself to be attached to this type of content. That's why it's called television.
Well, that's why I like watching different things, because I started noticing now when I get off the live late, I'll turn on a home decor video, and that's something I would never do late night. But I feel like that's more therapeutic than sitting here talking about macabre content and then go right in and watch a scary movie or forensic files. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no difference.
Yeah, you don't need all that on your brain, because I think at some point you can attract that drama into your own life, and I believe that. I firmly believe that you can attract this drama and it can sit at your door one day.
You know, and even with that Heather T case that I was talking about, with you talking about certain cases, I've noticed with Heather Teague and particularly Heather Teague and Dior Coons Jr., you have people that want to email you or leave comments in the chat saying, you don't need to be talking about this. Why are you talking about regurgitated information? What's been repeated? I'm like, I'm a little small YouTube channel. This video's only generated over 104 views. Why do you care? If it's already been talked about enough.
That's how people are.
But see, my mind goes.
I've had those same type of comments. You're just talking about the same thing from, well, the point is, I didn't invite you over here.
True.
So if you see the title is about Summer Wells and you're not interested, why comment?
You know what I think it is? I think that with in particular with the Dior Coons case, this one individual that messaged me, because I turned off the comments because I just didn't want to hear it. But they said that you're talking about the same thing that's been repeated for the past 2015. So I don't know, 8-9 years. I'm like, okay, so you care enough to email me even after I turned off the comments. That means that you have something invested and you don't want me talking about it for some reason. You see where I'm going?
Those people are sick. I hear what you're saying, but you have a lot of sick people out here. That's what people don't understand. I had a strange message in the chat yesterday's live. Somebody decided to message me to tell me that I said something about their mother and put her in a bad light. So I didn't even remember who the topic was, because, as I said, I talk about a lot of stuff. So one of the people in the chat had to go pull it up to go look to see what it was about. And so they mentioned the person's name, and then it hit me who it was. A story about the little boy up in Ohio who ran out, Indianapolis, whatever, that ran out in the street, autistic. 2 days in a row he was out wandering around. The gist of the story is this. Don't come over here telling me I'm talking about your mama, sister, brother, because she was arrested for child neglect. What does that have to do with Angela? Nothing. I didn't go put a gun in your head and tell you leave your kids in the house alone. You happened to pull up when the police was at your house and they had been to your house 2 days straight. That don't got nothing to do with the Vault XL. It is breaking news, and I reported it as I saw fit. So if you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at yourself. So obviously the person is making it seem like they're the daughter. I don't care, and I'll let the person know. Are you even old enough to be in the chat? because this is an 18 and up content channel.
Yeah, that's one thing that's another thing I've been noticing. I look at my channel analytics, and even though I set all of my videos for 18
Not made for
plus,
kids. Mm-hmm.
yeah, not made for kids, but still it shows it to people that are 13 to 17 years old, which is disturbing to me.
Well,
With
this time, look at it.
YouTube,
I don't know if this person was really a daughter. Don't know. Don't really care. The point is, I don't care. I said what I had to say in the video. I'll say it again in this live stream. You left your children unattended in a house alone. Your car was off the property. Somebody called the police on you 2 times in a row. How is that my problem?
it's not. It's not your problem.
So you offended by what I've said about you, the daughter, whoever this, because you don't even know if this is a real profile of a daughter or not. The point is, she made that choice to leave her children alone in the house. The little boy's outside half naked running around. Hell yeah, somebody called the police. That's what they're supposed to do.
Yep. You know?
And then you just so happen to pull up. It's all on camera. So that has nothing to do with me. You know, what was I supposed to say about the story? Why did you arrest her? Oh my God, it's a terrible thing. You should give her a pass. That's what I should have been saying.
I think that people that get so offended, like the individual, whoever they were, that emailed me with the Dior Coons case, I'm convinced was directly involved within the case.
Well, they might be. Well, this person's supposed to be the daughter that messaged yesterday in the chat. But my thing is, I don't care who you are. You don't run me, and you don't tell me what I can say about what somebody did. The law says you are not supposed to leave these children alone. It's child neglect. So take it up with the courts.
Yep.
Take it up with the courts.
You have bigger problems to worry about than what some YouTubers talking about.
And that's my point exactly. If you're over here worried about this, that shows me you have a mental problem. That's the very reason why you're arrested. Because you don't have your priorities straight.
And went to
the Cuban South, you'd have seen the video and now you upset. That video, as you said, oh, the video was made weeks ago. Well, why are you just not commenting?
Yeah, the video only has a little over 100 views in my case, so it's not even a huge viral video. Why do you care if I'm talking about this?
These people are sick out here.
You know?
And they just bored and they have nothing better to do. I've had a case out of Chicago years ago, and the black woman was at a cigar lounge, and she was having a good time allegedly. And then all of a sudden she went up to the front and just went ham, shot everybody up at the table. Here comes this guy. Why are you talking about this? He was a good guy. She was a crazy lady, blah, blah, blah. I said, dude, let me tell you something. This is my channel. I talk about what I want to talk about. I don't care that he was your friend. You knew him. I'm only repeating what the news said and asking people, why do they think she shot those people at that table? You entitled to think whatever you want, but you do not tell me what the fuck I can talk about.
Exactly.
Nobody in their right mind is not going to wonder why the woman was in the lounge having a good time and then out of blue just walks up and shoot a bunch of people at a table. Why would you not ask what was going on with her? Well, you didn't want me to talk about what's the truth. Your little buddy has done something to her and set her off. That's why she shot everybody at the fucking table. You don't want nobody to say nothing bad about him.
And
that's
it just goes
bad at.
And it just goes to show that you really never, especially people, the commenters, you don't know what's going on in the story. It can be so easy to assume that you do.
Exactly, because I think I was very diplomatic in my content on that video, saying, why did she do it? Why was she allegedly happy? One guy said, you know, her laugh, she had an infectious laugh. He said, everything seemed fine. He said, then out of the blue, she just goes up and starts shooting all the men at the table. And they were like law enforcement, state troopers, okay? So that's what's sending a message there. Then we found out one of the guys used to mess around with her. So yeah, people gonna start talking. Like once people heard that, you know, then you got some people gonna downplay. Well, it wasn't nothing. Well, it had to be something because why she shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't matter if she couldn't move on, it was just a fling. The point is something bothered her. And then they talked about what was in her apartment. She wrote their names on the wall. She had a hit list on the wall. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, there's way more to that. I don't know what you're. I don't know the particular story, but there's way.
That's all I had to hear. That's all I had to hear. The names of the people. One of the people who was killed, his name was written on her wall in her apartment. The other person's name, they went and notified him, and to this day, they have never revealed who he is. So she had a hit list. So whether she's schizophrenic, deranged, whatever, the point is something set her off, pushed her over the fucking edge. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
What are you mad? You mad? Just say you mad she killed your friend. But don't get mad because somebody's asking questions why she did it. That's a normal question. Why did this lady shoot all these people?
It's a vessel for all of these people, both, and I'm talking about the creators, the commenters, like what you said, and the people that are just watching. You know, the people in the storyline.
Yeah, people invested. These people invested in the story. That's why they don't want you saying anything. You don't even really have to say anything negative. He just let it be known. He didn't think I should be talking about it. Well, you didn't go call the news and tell them not to talk about it.
Yeah, they don't have any problem with the mainstream media talking about it, but some random YouTuber, they take the time to leave a comment or
you won't
email
believe
you.
how many people. Then I had a crazy bitch jump on there. Not yesterday morning. Yeah, it might have been early yesterday morning or late the night before. Mad because I said something about the little white girl that drowned up here. Autistic girl found dead in the lake. Yeah, I can say what I want to say. How did she get in the lake? Oh, that's because you don't got no security locks on the windows and doors. But she been going out, wandering around. Okay, so who you mad at? See where I'm going?
Yeah.
You don't know what was going on with this family. Blah, 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 blah. Delete.
Well,
delete,
you don't either. You don't either.
Exactly. Are they drunks? Are they alcoholics? Are they on drugs? Were they watching the little girl? You just told us that she's done it before. Okay, so somebody's going to say, well, why you ain't got no alarm system? Why you ain't got no padlocks on the doors so she can't get out? 7 years old, nonverbal, and she's out wandering around. Now she's dead in the lake. 5 o'clock in the morning, you don't know where she is. You call the police. They found her floating. So here comes some random motherfucker telling me, oh, you shouldn't be saying what you're saying. You don't know this family. You think you're going to get a reply from me? Never.
You know, talking about this true crime and all of these cases on YouTube, being a creator, it's kind of like playing with a Ouija board. You never know what's on the other side.
Well, and guess what? I don't easily intimidate. You are entitled to think whatever you want to think. But when it comes to children, it is your responsibility to do what you need to do to keep your children safe. So my thing is this. If you can't keep your children safe on the inside, you are opening the door for somebody to come on the inside from the outside. Duh. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they're so quick to trust the YouTubers that don't even care for their children and don't even claim their children or do fucked up things behind the scenes. You don't know these people, but they're sitting up preaching about God and Ouija boards and spirit boxes and tarot cards, which I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I'm in tarot cards myself, but I've had to check myself over the years. Even with talking about the Summer Wells case, there's comments that I still receive comments. Can you read on what happened to Summer Wells? Can you pick up on what happened to Summer Wells? I'm like, I'm tired of telling lies about dead children. What else do you want me to say?
Yeah.
There was one point that I had to be honest with myself. I was like, you're sitting up here coming up with theories just to oblige people. And I've told people this on my channel. I'm no longer doing readings on Summer Wells, Dawn Wells, Candace Bly. It's even the cards. They say that they don't give a damn. They never did care about their children.
Okay. So that's what the cards say.
Well, that's mixed with my opinion, yes. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Dawn and Candace, in my opinion, regardless if they did.
Tarot cards ain't got to tell nobody that.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? Whether people want to believe it or not, ain't no tarot card spirit box got to tell you they ain't never cared about their children.
And see, even if they didn't have anything to do, Dawn Wells and Candace Bly, if they didn't have anything to do with their daughter's disappearance, and I will say this up here on Queen's panel, I don't feel sorry for what I have said about Dawn and Candace, because regardless,
and I feel the same way.
What they have shown here on YouTube, and Summer Wells went missing on their watch, it's still their fault.
It's utter belligerence.
It's still their fault.
Yeah. So that's my point. That's how I feel about the Proudfoots. You can, whether they did something or not, your behavior up here on this little box has shown me everything I need to know about what was going on behind closed doors, which was something very bad. So it don't matter if you killed them or not. I'm judging you according to how you act. That's all I got to go on.
And you're talking about these kids that are possibly dead, and they're not here to speak for themselves.
That's true.
The parents in particular.
Yeah, it's very true. And a lot of people don't understand that the children are here to defend themselves. That's why I believe that the children are dead, because the things you're saying is stuff that you wouldn't dare say to a child that's possibly living. And I don't know how people don't see through that. The stuff they say about their kids, they know they're not coming back to refute it, to defend it, to argue it. Think about it.
They say it because they know they're no longer here. They're not going to come out and rebuttal.
Exactly. But they can't tell you, yeah, I killed my kid. I know they did. But the way they talk about the kid, if you talk about a missing person negatively, what message are you sending about that person, the child, and the universe? What message are you sending? So why am I going to sit here and think you didn't do something to your child when you don't even have anything positive to say about your child? That makes no logical sense. You don't go up here right now and say, oh, my brother's missing. But then you start talking about, yeah, he stink and he had bad body odor. He's a whore. He's a this.
See, who talks about a missing person like that?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. So somebody going to look like, well, damn, do you want him found? You feel?
Well,
do you want your brother found?
I feel exactly what you said, because I got a lot of heat. With you met Jim Terry on my previous, whenever you came on my channel, private investigator Jim Terry. Regardless of how you feel, he's very controversial. But see, the thing is, he spoke to these people. He spoke to the managers of what was going on. Me personally, I believe it, because if Aiden Clune, in that case, if he was being sexually harassed on a daily basis at his job, then that could be one of the motivations that led up to why he disappeared, if it was intentional. But people, they said, well, if he is alive, I'm sure that he wouldn't be pleased to hear about this. Well, he may not be pleased to hear about it, but if it has something to do with his disappearance, it's worthy of talking about.
It's that anything that's brought out as an allegation or can be proven as a fact, it's relevant to a disappearance of a human being or their death.
And see, he's a private investigator. He's actually a private investigator. He's licensed, regardless of what people want to feel about him. You're entitled to your opinion, but he's spoken to two of the managers that Aiden Clune was worked under, and that's what they told him. But people, I received privacy strikes or privacy concerns about that video, so I privated it, and I eventually deleted it and just re-uploaded it because I didn't want the video to be struck.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So why did it get a strike? Community strike.
I'm convinced. My opinion is that it was struck by Candace Cooley, and that she has nothing to do with the Aiden Clune case. It was another. It leads into the Dylan Rounds case, and I'm not trying to confuse people, but basically, it was struck by people that did not like Jim Terry. They struck the video just because they didn't like Jim Terry.
Listen, was he doing most of the talking in the video?
Well, he was telling the things about Aiden Clune, yes.
Okay, well, he's very boisterous.
Well, yes, he
Okay,
is.
so those things you say can fuck up your video and fuck up your channel. So you do have to be very careful about letting people talk.
And I realized that.
That includes yourself. That includes yourself.
Yeah, and I realized that because I went into that.
You get a warning strike on the simplest of things. It don't even have to be cuss words or none of that. It's just, it could be name calling, any type of mimicking of something. Because I learned that with one of my videos back I did on Candace and got a warning because I was making gurgling noises. So I know exactly what it was about.
Gurgling noises.
Yeah, like I guess if you are holding someone underwater.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see how.
And I got quite a few views off of that. Lord, I got a warning on that video.
Well, I think it was struck by Candace Cooley, the mother of Dylan Rounds, because YouTube. It wasn't really struck. It was. I shouldn't say struck. It was.
Got a warning.
Yeah, basically YouTube. They sent me an email. They said that this video has received a privacy concern, and they sent me the timestamps of the video.
Oh, I see.
And whenever I went back and viewed the timestamps, Jim was talking about Candace Cooley. Yeah. You see what I mean?
Yes, what you said. So he's talking about her, so she has a problem with that. So she can say, this person is saying disparaging things about me.
And I knew I was taking that risk, and me and Jim, it's been openly known, it's no secret that me and Jim has had our own problems, but
guess what? It ain't worth it in the end, sweetheart.
We've squashed that beef. Me and Jim are on good terms. I actually extended the olive branch to Jim to come on my channel.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, you know how he talks though. All it takes is one, you be right back in that situation again. You do what you want, but I'm just saying, is it worth it in the end? Because see, what people don't understand is when people come up here on these panels and stuff, they don't have no control over what YouTube will do and not do. You fuck up and come up here and get to talk crazy, I'm the one that's responsible. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't even think it's YouTube. I think it's the people watching the content.
You are in the end still responsible for these people coming up here on this panel and talking.
Yeah, because
you agree with what they're saying or not.
You're the content creator.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to have some leverage because it's your content in your channel. And these people can't do nothing for you if you get a fucking strike on your channel. Now you're going to be walking on eggshells every time you go live. Now, who want to live like that?
Nobody.
Yeah, and then you're not really your true authentic self because now you can't say any damn thing.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you care to share your experience, what you had on my channel? What did you think of Jim Terry? Because I know that, the two of you, it was it was comedic, and I received comments underneath it. Most of them were positive, but what did you think, Queen, with your interactions with JT?
Now, why are you asking me this, Bandit?
I'm just curious because I'm just curious. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But
I think he it's too overt. It's too overt. There's a time and a place for everything. Maybe that's his style, but that style is not for everybody. I just think sometimes you got to know when to not say certain things. That's it. It may in his way or opinion be, I'm just playing, I'm just joking. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's not going to be perceived by everybody in that manner. It's no different than the things I say over here. It's the same game. Some people don't like maybe the jokes. Some people may not like the raunchy humor. Somebody may not like when I use a potty mouth. And I get that. But then I know there's times I don't have to do either. There'll still be a complaint. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because naturally you don't have no control. People are going to complain either way.
Yeah, they're going to, whether it be the audience or other.
But when you're too crass and too overt, you should know you're going to get a lot of negative feedback from that.
Well, it's the same thing with Brooks from Crime Line and Lies. I'm sorry, I don't want to mention too many channels on your platform because you don't like that.
No, I sure don't.
But with that lady, with Lightning Tiger, we'll just say that her inviting Ernie Shill, she got the same feedback. it's something similar. You know, it's bad. No, you cannot please everybody on this platform, especially the audience. You would be lucky to please at least 25% of your audience.
Well, you can't.
That's what I've learned.
They will turn on you. Let me tell you something. I lost a lot of viewers. I think it was 2 years ago when I had that cute car lot come up. Oh, that was all she wrote.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, anyway, it's pertaining to somewhere else. That crazy bitch from over in the UK ended up causing that reward fund to get closed because she called over here complaining. She's the downfall of that because she felt like Q Carlock was scamming people with the GoFundMe, people sending money into her Cash App. My thing is this: if a person does a fundraiser on their channel, it is your choice to send the money in. That's on you. That's on you. And like I told people, if she wanted to be a scammer, she didn't have to turn any of the money into the reward fund. She could have kept all 30,000+, 37,000, whatever it was. She could have kept the money, never said a word. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
how would you know how much she sent in? She didn't have to never say nothing.
She was on your panel though, and your channel, so she heard
somebody talking about her. The white woman was up here talking about her. She heard it, so she hit the link. And I let her come up to defend herself.
I see. I'm all about having people have their own voice.
My thing is just this. If she wanted to keep the money, she could have kept all of it. You went and dismantled a reward fund for a missing child because you wanted to be a messy boost. And I said that, and I still stand on that. So if people want to unsubscribe, listen, if people want to unsubscribe to me for that, I do not care. Because I feel like it was wrong what she did. You live all the way in another country. You had no business over here meddling in American business. Now that child don't even have a fucking reward fund because of you. So how did the little girl come out as a winner? You too busy trying to spike this black woman, and now someone else don't have a motherfucking reward fund because you was meddling and shit. So how was that right? I still stand on that today. And some people may not like Q Carlock for whatever they reasons. That's your business. You know, I wasn't personally involved with her on that type of level, but I felt like the reward fund was for the little girl. The money made it to there. And so whether somebody sent her personal cash apps, how you gonna know what was for her and what was for Summer? The point is, it's your money. You didn't have to send it her. You could have sent it directly to the fucking reward fund. They gave you instructions. So you didn't have to donate on the girl channel.
See, I heard about that, but I didn't know the logistics of it. That was early on in the Summer Wells case, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, I heard about that, but I didn't know.
It was going into the next year, I think. I'm not really sure. It's just fucking old, but all that is garbage. Fucking garbage.
And it just changing the topic here with there were even, I'm assuming, people that were coming from your channel, Queen, that were commenting under the video, you know, with you, Jim T, and me, saying, "Hey, Queen, you blocked me in your chat. Can you unblock me, please?" Commenting underneath my videos, and I didn't even entertain it.
They're rude. They're rude.
And then I thought back of what you said in your previous live streams about you blocking people, and I said, "Yeah, this is exactly why. This is exactly why you're blocked."
Because they're disrespectful. They do disrespectful shit, and then they always go in somebody else's. They got a habit of doing it over the AB channel. I'm over there as a visitor. Why are you coming over there? You know what I'm saying? You see I'm in the chat. You talking about some shit from the vault over there. You don't have no business talking about nothing over from the vault over there at his channel. Same thing what I see a bitch did to me the other day on this other girl's YouTube channel. I was just in there speaking. Here you go talking about I used to like you, but you seen something. Why are you addressing me over here in this person's chat?
It's not. With all this racism stuff, you should be pointing the finger at Smiley.
Well, they're not going to do that.
Keeping it real.
So now here you go. You have to bring that person name up.
You know, I'm sorry, but it's, you know, it pisses me off because I've been accused of being racist myself.
Oh, well, they don't like me saying white. I call people white. I call people black. What's the problem?
Yeah, it's not racist. It's what you are. You know, I'm mixed.
Mexican. I say Mexican if I want to.
I'm biracial. My mother, she was white, and my dad, he was black. You know,
Right.
I'm biracial. That's not racist.
Well, let me tell you something. Let them complain. Because they complain when it ain't nothing said. When it ain't nothing said about white, black, blue, green. It's always a fucking complaint about something. That's all they do is come in complaining. They come in talking about a dog, a shoe, a monkey. They sick, they back hurt. Don't even let me hit the live button. You come in talking about something else. Just rude. Fucking rude.
And it's also rude coming over to another YouTuber's channel talking about, hey, I was blocked from this person's channel, or talking, you know, in a negative manner about another YouTuber on.
They do it all the time.
Yeah, it's rude, and it's also disrespectful.
People, so this is why I tell you why it's dangerous talking about other people on the panel. Because these people talking, they go back and repeat what you just said on this live. Oh, they were talking about you there on the live on the panel. This is all they do is back and forth, back and forth. But then they the main ones that talk about, oh, I can't stand the drama. But you also are part of the drama when you go back and repeat stuff. It's the same thing. It's the same game.
I was trying to. I didn't mean to.
I'm just saying,
mention these other channels. It just flew off my tongue.
As soon as you sit on the panel, honey, you mention another YouTuber's name, they've got people listening. They ear hustle.
Yep, flying monkeys. You know, they send people.
It's always a complaint. I put up with a lot of shit that to me is so unnecessary to just be up here talking about random situations. There's always something. There's always some blatant disrespect in the chat, and then they're always crying, I don't know why I'm blocked. Well, I think you should think about it. I shouldn't have to tell you why you blocked.
Because you don't know how to behave. You don't know how to carry yourself online.
That's it.
You don't know how to respect the creator's channel.
Just on and on, doing little sneaky shit, and you think I ain't watching and I ain't hearing stuff. A lot of shit gets back to me.
And then sometimes they do it covertly too. I receive comments under my videos saying, you know, I just be talking about, for example, the Delphi case, and they said, oh, Bandit, you know, just saying what one person says, this one comment that I read months ago. Oh, you should go read so-and-so's channel and their commentary about the Delphi case because they're fact-oriented, calling this channel out by name. And I deleted the comment.
Well, you should, because they do that to my friend Chris. He's out of Memphis.
Why are you talking about another YouTuber on my channel?
He'll be going live, and then they'll go in the chat and say, well, such and such said this, and they got the scoop, and they got the real blah, blah, blah. Okay, like he told them. We'll go over there.
Exactly. Go over there and watch them if it's so important.
You know, and I think he works really hard for his content, and he don't get a lot of views on his channel because they too busy, like I said, chasing the one with all the sensationalism, bullshit. But you're rude. You don't go in somebody's chat talking about what somebody said on somebody else's channel. And they know more about the story and they've got the facts. Well, if they got the facts, why are you over here?
Yeah, if you
That's
come over
rude as hell. But then when they block and they see you over in somebody else's chat comment, then they want to come over there and bogart their chat with, oh, I don't understand why I'm blocked. Oh, you don't? You don't know why?
I can see why.
Hell yeah. I'm going to block your ass. You come over here disrespecting me.
Yeah, what they're trying to do, Queen, is they're trying to promote this other creator.
That's what they're doing. That's what they don't. Whether they're doing it intentionally or not, that is exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're doing. I can talk about anything random. Here comes somebody. Oh, you need to go over and check such and such out. He was talking about her, or she was saying this, or she spoke with such and such. And it's like, damn, you don't even let me start talking. I have seen this just a day ago. I hadn't even hit the live button. You know, the chat's open. I hadn't even hit the live button. A motherfucker was coming in, talking, complaining about. So I was like, wow, I haven't even gone live yet. Open my mouth.
They come in. They come in.
Such a turn off.
Yeah, they come into the premiere and they leave their comments whenever a live is scheduled, and they say, "Well, I don't know why you should allow so and so on your channel, or I don't know why you're talking about this. So and so knows better." And those comments are deleted, and those users are blocked. They're hidden.
Well, see, that's what people don't understand. when I heard somebody say in the chat a week ago saying, how is somebody a troll because they have a different opinion? You a troll if you keep repeating the same thing over and over. You a troll if you keep promoting something and you see that nobody's responding to you or in agreement. To me, that's a troll. You're trying to get attention. You know, writing in all caps like that's going to make me address you. Writing in all caps when you comment. That's not going to make me address you.
See, when people write in all, which I title my videos.
I write in all caps myself, but I write in all caps for a reason. It ain't got nothing to do with screaming or nothing.
Well, I write it because it's easier for people to see it.
Well, exactly.
But,
it's easy for Queen to see. That's why I write in all caps. It don't got nothing to do with trying to make a point or screaming. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what I interpret
in the chat. I see that a lot in the chat. You put in all caps like you want somebody to acknowledge what you're saying. I don't have to acknowledge what you're saying. There are other people talking. I will pick out what I want to address in the chat. I don't have to read every comment. You think about the channels that have a big audience. 100 people to 1,000, 3,000 are commenting and typing. You think that person can sit there and read all them fucking comments?
Absolutely not. Just one person,
exactly.
No. That's why channels have mods, which is a
when you have a
whole
big
different
audience,
conversation.
You are not going to read those comments. There's just no way you can sit there and pop up on them. You really wouldn't be able to get the content out trying to address everybody's comment. That's just common sense.
I mean, even with a channel with 4,000 subscribers, most of the comments I don't receive unless YouTube sends me a notification that someone commented underneath the video.
Yeah, well, I have my notifications on, but see, I'm to the point where now I'm about ready to turn the damn notifications off because what people don't understand is time consuming to keep jumping up, looking at the comments. You don't want to seem rude. You want to respond. But then all this, another thing that's annoying is all these long-winded writings. I don't have that kind of time. I do not want to do that. I don't want to read long-ass letters. And then you do it again. You write a long letter, then you make another comment. See where I'm going? That's not necessary. And
then they go as far as emailing you if you don't respond to the comment.
No, we don't do no emails. I don't play that.
Well, that's what happens with me.
Listen, I would tell anybody. I don't recommend it.
Well, I include my email.
Well, that's because I know a lot of people want to reach out to people. They want people to be able to reach out to them. But this is what I'm seeing with that. Okay, I got the IG open. Everything that is saying in the IG will be the same thing said in the email. Absolutely nothing. The IG email is just another avenue to hear the same thing they just repeated under the video, under the chat. Why do you need somebody's email and IG to repeat what you just said on the channel? You don't need to contact nobody to repeat what you just said. For what? I've seen it done 1,000 times. I just want to tell you about what Pookie said and what you just repeated. What somebody said on this channel, and I want to know why I'm blocked. And it's the same shit they're putting under the videos on the post. So why do you need an email and an IG or other avenue to contact the person? Help me understand.
Well, I'm just speaking for me personally. I include it because I do readings, and that's how my clients reach out to me if they want a reading or if they want to buy a product.
I'm just saying, I've noticed that when you give them a way to contact you, they're only repeating the same shit they've already said on the channel in the chat. So my thing is this: why did you contact me? What you're saying to me over here on B Street is what you just said on A Street. How does that make any sense?
It's a sense of power control. That's what it is.
You're not getting it here. I run Angela.
And it's they think that
I've said this 1,000 times to myself. They're repeating the same thing they just said over here on the channel. What is the point to this?
They think that they're blocked, so they go as far as emailing you, which brings me back to the question: if you email me with a bunch of cursing me out with a bunch of nasty comments.
Oh, that's why I'm saying. That's why I couldn't do that. You're not getting ready to email me. I'm not about to give out my personal email like that. No.
It just goes. It's not even my personal email. It's my business email. But it just goes to show that
I don't want to read it. But I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it.
Yeah, it just goes to show that these people they have too much time invested into it, and you care as much as going from YouTube to Yahoo Mail. to tell me your
But
thoughts.
that's what they're going to do. That's why they be asking. That's why a lot of them slick ass motherfuckers want to know. Do you have an email? Do you have a way I can message you? Or I got something I want to send you? Or somebody evil see that you got an email or IG, and then next thing you know, they in there writing a long Dear Jane letter about, I don't like what you said in this video, blah, blah, blah. So you way over here to tell me something you could have said over at the other place.
They ask you if you have Discord, which is that's a shit show by itself, is Discord.
Oh, well, I've heard.
Yeah, some person asked me if I had Discord in my live chat. And a couple days ago, I said, "Yeah, I have Discord, but I'm not about to."
So it'd be just another version of
bring it out to you.
But it'd be another version of YouTube, would it not?
Yeah, that's all it is. I don't even know that much about Discord. I just recently created
Well, my thing
one.
is, so long as a person can comment, it's the same as YouTube. How would it be different? It ain't. Just you reading a bunch of comments. He said, she said. He said, she said. Just typing. Oh, nah, I ain't with that. I'm not getting ready to go from one platform to the other typing. I'm very funny about that. All this excessive typing, responding. You know what I'm saying? I do enough reading for the research for the videos, typing, responding to comments on the channel. Man, I ain't trying to do that from platform to platform. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
It's too much work.
I wouldn't do it.
A person can have a full-time job. If a person worked full-time, there's no way you could be trying to navigate X, TikTok, YouTube, posts, emails, IG. When would you have time to take a shower?
It's one thing if you're a content creator on those platforms and you bring the content, but if you're just someone that is consuming the content and you have something to say, you have a problem. You have a serious mental problem. In my opinion.
I haven't put nothing on IG recently about myself or the channel because I'm too consumed over here at YouTube. I haven't done nothing with X since really last year. It's just I don't have the time. I don't feel like investing in going from platform to platform. I just don't want to do it because it's time consuming. Just doing the shorts and stuff, trying to keep up with, trying to do like breaking news, this and that, and then now go over here, even news break now. You can go film over there. And I told myself, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to invest time, you know what I'm saying, and doing that, which would be good because more people would know who I am. But it's still taking time. It's more time.
Yeah, being a YouTuber is a job.
It is a job. That's why there's days I just want to do me. I don't want to be doing nothing extra. That's
and
my
sometimes it feels like being a babysitter or kindergarten teacher.
That's all. That's all I see up here.
I'm not a good babysitter or kindergarten teacher.
I'm not babysitting a real baby. Okay.
I'm not either, and that's why
I've already said that. Nobody can never come ask me, could you keep my little girl, my little boy? Hell no. Not after what I see and talk about up here. No.
Nope.
Because I don't want to be a witness to nothing. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to see nothing. Call somebody else.
Because at that point,
I'm not keeping nobody's child. No.
You're a third party to if something nefarious is happening. To get involved.
No way, Jose.
You would be the next true crime story.
Head, scratch. Next thing you know, somebody calling the police talking about my baby scratched. No, thank you. You're not gonna have me interrogated about your baby. I'll pass. Well, I'm gonna check out of here because I've been up here long enough.
I was about to say
about the Taylor Casey. Your synopsis before I check out of here.
Well, I was about to actually hop down myself, but if you want to know my final thoughts, so far from what I've came across and what I've heard with your commentary, I think either one, she went down there and someone murdered her, did something nefarious, or two, she killed herself.
Okay.
But you don't think she
walked away from her life?
That would be my third possibility, but no, I don't think that.
Okay.
I think that she was either killed.
She killed herself.
Yeah, and I think that she killed herself because if that's the case, and I'm not trying to put that on her, but if that is the case, then if you look at the statistics with transgenders, they have a high suicide rate along with the LGBT community.
Oh,
and especially with that really struck my eye coming across her Facebook page, saying that her dad passed away last year.
okay.
And
people don't automatically kill themselves because people pass away.
yeah, but at the same time, you really don't know the entire story, what's going on behind the scenes. She could have been severely depressed and suffering in silence.
Well, I already said that. We don't know her. So if nobody's giving you a clue to who a person is, everything is just speculation.
That is true, and that's all we're doing is speculating on this case. But
yeah, but
I'm going to go ahead and
a lot of odd stuff that's been mentioned by these people at this retreat that I don't know if it's truth or not.
Yeah, it's just versions. I'm going to have to look more into this case. I don't want to speak. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and then something comes out, breaking news, and then we all look stupid.
Yeah. But I pray for a resolution. I don't want this to be a situation like the other young lady that went missing down in the islands years back.
Shinquilla?
No, the white girl. I can't think of her name. But you know who I'm talking about. She went missing, and they got that young man for killing her. The point is that shit went on, and it ended up becoming reindeer games with him. So that's why I'm saying I pray this won't end up like that.
Yeah, that's all we can do is pray to God. So God's Spirit and God's Son and the Holy Spirit.
Well, thank you for joining me, bandits.
Well, thank you for letting me up. And once again, I do apologize for bringing any type of drama. Or the next time I'm up here, I'm going to refrain from speaking on YouTubers.
You could not wait to tell all that what you just mentioned up here.
Well, Ernie Shell, yes, that's an exception. But as far as the rest of them, that just slipped off my tongue. Honestly, I have not.
You was in church.
No.
No,
if you're referring to T-Rev,
when you're in church, when you're in church, you feel free to talk.
Not if it's T-Rev's church.
Oh my God, I'm dead. I can't. I'm gonna let that sit right there. You're sick. Thank you, dear.
Thank you for having me up, and thank you for putting up with me.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, everybody. That's Bandit Network TV. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Check out my shorts, upcoming content, polls, take the polls. Any breaking news, I will post it to my community page. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $McAndrew, 129 Cash App, stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Woo, what a live. Lord Jesus. Please check out the earlier live from Friday where we do cut up and get a little raunchy. Forgive us. Forgive my tongue. Got a little juicy in the beginning throughout. But anyway, we had good fun near the end of that live stream pertaining to the unlucky leprechaun and all the nastiness that's been transpiring with just vileness pertaining to these missing person cases. As I said, tread lightly in the people who you follow here on the network because everybody is not genuinely concerned about these cases. And I think if you watch and tune in and listen carefully, you'll realize that the person really cares about the content that they're bringing to the network. And that's all I have for this live stream. Taylor Casey, currently missing in the Bahamas. We have learned that this is a transgendered person, biological male. And I do believe the mother needs to inform people that this is a male and not a female in case of a worst case scenario. And I'm not saying that there will be a worst case scenario, but you have to use logic. If indeed the child unalived herself and or is foul play, I think the public has a right to know that it is a male and not a female. That's just common sense. So has she informed police in the Bahamas that this is a male instead of a female? The same with Chicago. the FBI, any other jurisdiction. If not, it's going to be a really bad situation. If a body floats up anywhere or turns up anywhere, it happens to be her child, and time goes by and nobody notifies her because they're thinking that she has a woman for a child, but all along she has a bio son. This is a bad situation to me, really bad. And where is her passport? No mention of the passport in the tent. So where is it? I've seen many pictures, a few pictures at least, of her carrying purses. So I would assume she wears a purse, carries a purse. So where are her personal effects? Comb, brush, mirror, those type of things. Wouldn't those things be in a purse? Where are they? Thank you, dear. Where is her purse? There are pictures of her carrying a purse. When you watch certain videos on the news, you'll see her with a purse in the picture. So where is her purse? Mother never mentioned a purse was found. Passport missing. See, there's something off here. And I don't see a person killing themselves, hiding their passport, ID, purse. That makes no sense. You're depressed, you're upset. What are you going to hide your ID and your passport for? For what? Something's off. Something is majorly off. Phone in the ocean, passport missing, no mention of a purse, ID, nothing. Something is terribly wrong here. And what I have to tell myself is all this happened at the ashram as far as foul play, then how did they get her out of there? Or was she unalive outside? But then still, how'd you get her from point A to point B? Make it make sense. Thank you for joining me. You've been listening to the Vault Excel.